which we cannot see. They still shine if we disbelieve. Lonely gems in the canopy, burning bright, just like you and me. Glowing embers of our distant hearts, tied together as we drift apart. We cannot escape our gravity. When we collide, will you remember me? You could say I'm a stranger, and I can see that it's true. But if all we had is each other, then it's all we have to lose.
And welcome back to Homebrew Pie. I'm your host, Jimmy D. Today, solo for today's event. Gonna make sure I get this content out to you because it's gonna be a chaotic week for myself here. Going up on to DC. Good to see you, Kai. Excited to be here. Excited to see all the audience, all the fans out there. I know you are. I know you are. Yes, you want to say hi to everybody. Everybody, say hi to Kai. We have ourselves. I guess I am not solo. I'm not solo here because I've got Kai here with me. And I don't know how well she will be able to narrate some of the plays for you, but if you speak dog, probably pretty well. Right, Kai? You understand the card game. I played it enough around her, so she knows what the card game's all about. Don't you, Kai? Don't you, Kai? Yes, you do. Well, we got ourselves a fun day. 4 rounds of amazing One Piece content. Week 7 of this championship. So it's going out till 4 more weeks. That means 11 total weeks of content. 2 events each week. Going to find out who our top 8 who's going to be playing for the manga, who our top 8 who's going to be playing for the additional prize and trophy and the Pirates Champion Cup, and who just might be walking away with some additional prizing and that People's Champion Cup. We'll find out if that when it gets full. We got 4 weeks left and a lot of players getting into the game. We got some awesome drops coming up soon. Guys, I'm really super excited. I don't know if you guys are super excited about this, but we have the PRB dropping this weekend. I got some awesome news and some stuff to show you for Lifelink Games. And hopefully your store is doing a pretty nice job. I'm still skeptical on what the distribution is going to look like. I am hopeful, but skeptical. Last time we had this PRB, if you weren't here for the last time PRB was out, it was a hot demand set, premium set. You were paying more for even less packs, but because you were getting hit after hit after hit, and those boxes with massive value. You got those gold dons, you had the manga, you had the God Pack, which is back, by the way, for the God Pack, but different. Last time it used to be all the mangas that have been printed up to that point with a brand new one with the manga Nami, the Searcher Nami that was produced in OP01. It was a brand new introduction to it. Beautiful manga there, and the only way you can get that one. And of course, everyone's chasing after all the other mangas if you get that God Pack, because there was that potential. This one, the God Pack, is all Gold Dawn. With all the leaders, we didn't get the Dawn from previous, with a few missing, obviously. There's a couple people disappointed that some of their leaders weren't on the Dawns, but I gotta say, as a 2020 Chopper fan, I'm loving that 2020 Chopper one. As a guy who's been a fan of Smoker and been waiting for some good Smoker Dawn and had to use, I think, the Gear 4th a couple more times to use for Smoker Dawn, it's nice to see that's out there and available for those Smoker players, especially since Smoker is going to get some massive upgrades coming into PRB and OPO 13, which is right around the corner, guys. We've got, I feel like we just got 12 and we're just now playing with it and enjoying the set, and we're already looking forward to the massive change the OP 13 is going to bring into the One Piece meta. It's gonna be exciting. I'm really excited. I think it's crazy how powerful Emu is, but I also love that it gave room for Port Gastiers to have its first really epic, challenging deck. Now, mind you, a lot of people will be like, oh, it was always good. It had some tops here and there. It was never really the focus for the Port Gastiers. And even with the release of the newest one with Whitebeard, not really showing a whole lot of promise with the big top numbers, but still a fun deck to play. And it's just nice for those people who just love that character, fell in love with him in the storyline. Now, and there's a couple of my casters that really love this character. Now getting his showcase as one of the top competitors out there, and people now saying that's the deck to beat, not this powerful Emu deck that pops out characters left and right, not that amazing ramping gold Roger deck that's going to be just absolutely insane when played properly, and the Zoro deck right now, which happens to be an absolute menace in this current meta here. A lot of easy Unga Bunga wins you can get with that deck, but there are decks that can challenge it. There are decks that are doing a great job of pushing it aside. You have blue-purple Luffy, which has been putting results up against it because it's a decent matchup. You, especially with how big their characters can get. You have some great tech cards. A lot of people teching some stuff in their decks just to make sure they don't auto-lose to the swinging Unga Bunga that is Rono or Zoro. You have a lot of really cool decks and strategies out here today. We're going to be introducing some new ones you haven't seen in a long time, some heartfelt favorites, and some that have been doing well in some of the local areas. Really looking forward to taking a look at these deck lists with you, checking out to see what these guys have been doing to evolve the meta, play with some older leaders, playing for fun to make sure that we can get those amazing points, but also just try out what is absolutely one of the most entertaining TCGs in production today, One Piece TCG. We've got some amazing content. I do want to talk to you guys about what's happening with Lifelink. I have a little side story I want to talk about that happens to deal with the pricing, the market, and what's happening with TCGs. I'll go over that briefly for probably about the next 30 minutes. At the time, we'll take a break, come back, we'll start doing the formula, match after match after match. We're going to have 2 and 2, back-to-back, all 4 matches covered here on Humber Pie. I'll be giving you the deck list, the rundown, and the play-by-play. Would love to hear you guys' feedback. If you guys have anything you'd like to say, don't forget, comment, or just hit the exclamation point join for your chance to win 2 free packs. We are live, thus, we've got 2 more packs. So we have 2 more packs off the top here. One hit has been pulled, meaning it is the Altart leader, meaning we know for a fact there are 2 hits left. One of these could be the Kuma. One of these things could be that secret rare Altart Kuma, which is even more expensive. In addition to another Altart. So we're looking for an Altart and a Kuma out of these packs, waiting to send these out to you. We've already gotten that Altart leader. Good, congratulations, Beef Patty, on getting the Rayleigh alt leader. That's written for this box. We've got 2 more hits, and that's why I love doing it this method. I love having it where I give you a full box. That way all the hits go to somebody out there. Just like Little Pound Cake with the exclamation point join, and anybody else out there that might be joining the chat for some additional content and some amazing value in these packs. I've given out, gosh, hundreds to just hundreds of dollars of cards for free. We've given out some Flesh and Blood for free. We've given out, and that one was like $300-$400, one of the biggest pulls. We've given out Pokemon cards for free, and those ones often getting up to a decent price. If they got graded, even better. You've got some amazing pulls that we have for the Gundam that we've given away for free. Massive hits for Gundam. And especially now with the set that's just not getting the printing it really needs today. I love the game, want to do some more with it, need to make some more time, if I can possibly can, to get myself some coverage of that one, of the Gundam TCG, and really just, showing you guys how exciting this game really is. Brand new, it's very slow, everyone's trying to figure your decks out, but it's incredibly fun, incredibly fast, and I really wish that right now we would have a decent market for it where the product was readily available and we could easily get our hands on it without the scalpers taking over and creating these false sense of scarcities with prices. Something we're seeing a huge issue with right now with people buying a new star deck and trying to sell it. We saw online today, and I think we'll take a look at it here in a little bit, that there was somebody selling the innards of the deck, no bonus pack, no mat, anything else in it, just the brick that is the starter deck for $60. A $15 starter deck that we sold at Lifelink, sold out, and gave everybody the opportunity to buy it at the actual MSRP that you were supposed to, because we care about the community and we want to give those. Yeah, Curly, it absolutely insane. $60. The extra little pack you get in those starter decks that you can get in these things are usually alts that can sometimes go up to $100. So those guys obviously took that out to try and double dip, and then trying to sell these new starter decks. Honestly, guys, do not buy these. Do not buy from scalpers. They only thrive because people out there are willing to pay into it and get into it. If we can just get them out of our card game, we can finally have a product that we want in our hands so we can get people to play. Like, one of the biggest hurdles right now for Gundam, I've been trying to get a lot of new people into that game. It's too expensive. There's nothing left but the scalpers. And if the scalpers are the one paying, no one wants to get into a new untested card game for 3, 4, 5 times the markup on the value for these things. Obviously, there's going to be people out there that can afford it. Congratulations, you can afford to pay astronomically overpriced for these card games. But if you're trying to get new players in, you're trying to convince people playing One Piece, playing Union Arena, playing Magic the Gathering, or even Flesh and Blood, you're not going to convince them to come over when the product isn't on the shelf. They can't get access to it. And if they wanted to get access to it, they had to go to a scalper who's selling it for just astronomical prices. $60. Are you kidding me? Don't fall for this. 39 Royale, good to see it. And Yanko Richie, good to see you. Thank you so much for the chat. We got some great content coming your way, but it's one of the more aggravating things that I'm seeing with Premium Bandai. Also, I did fill out my survey for the Premium Bandai. Hopefully, if they ever watch us, please read through those things, because I know a lot of them you do take seriously. I want you to take these ones seriously. Lifelink Games and I have been hammering you guys with those surveys to help you guys try to fix some of the things that we're seeing that are causing a lot of hurdles for us store owners. I'm not really a store owner. I'm really the entertainment management, if you will. But as Chris is the owner of the store, it's creating some hurdles. And as a person who's trying to advertise these games, who's trying to get people to play these games, get them invested in these amazing experiences where you get outside of your house, touch some grass, talk to somebody in public, and get that social skills that you need to have after that dreaded COVID era that we just survived through. We need to get people back out there, having fun, socializing, interacting. As much as you guys might not think it's important, even NASA scientists have found out that socializing and interaction with society is important for your mental health. So while we're in a huge craze for people saying get your mental health, and I do back that, definitely seek mental health if you need it and you need that support. Absolutely do support that. But if you really want to go to the lowest level, come to your local game store, find some friends that share an interest, play some card games so you have some people, de-stress, live out the world for just playing a game and socializing with your best friends, talking about maybe your favorite anime, One Piece, maybe your favorite game or some mechanics, or just talk to people about different strategies, have fun, joke around, do what we do when we play D&D, just sit back, joke, be jovial, and just have a good time with your friends. It is absolutely imperative that you get people out of their house and start doing these kind of games. And that's number one reason why I've been pushing for TCGs in the first place. Not only do I feel like you're getting your value back, obviously, because you own the product, but you also have the opportunity to get outside of your house and socialize is really necessary. It's exhausting at times, I get it, but trust me, if you go with it for a long time, and I know there's some people out there that can feel me, it can get very lonely, and it can get to you in some really dark places that I don't want you to get to. I want you guys to have some fun. I want you guys to enjoy your life, live it to the fullest. You only get one. That YOLO, if you will, but without the craziness that came with it. You only live once, guys. Come out there, socialize, and just have some fun. Live life and give the purpose to life. Give purpose to your life. Now, it doesn't have to be with TCGs, it can be with any hobby, but this one especially, I'm going to hammer home for you guys. So, I digress. We're going to talk about some really cool things coming up with Lifelink Games. I'm going to talk a little bit about some problems I'm seeing in the TCGs. We're looking for any feedback in the chat. If you guys have something you want to add to that, please comment and let me know. And if you can't, you're watching the VOD, join my Discord. I'd love to talk to you there too. The conversations keep rolling. I keep getting messages and DMs from people talking about the things in the local area, and I'm not too surprised, honestly. with some of the hiccups that are happening within the TCG market. So if Mondai, you're paying attention, as we continually reiterate to you, please print more product, get people on the streets, find out what that meeting demand looks like. Find out what it is, how much you have to print to equally meet demand so people can actually have the product. And just a little bit more so we can have price support. Because one of the things that we're failing is card stores right now, is we don't have enough product to sell to our customers and give away price support. And that's a huge, huge bonus to building community, building people, and getting them to come out of their house. I want them to have a reason and get some value out of leaving their place and driving to wherever they are and paying for this experience. They should be getting something back for it. And we'd love to give them product, but we can't because you don't print enough. And I gotta say, heart goes out to Lifeline Games, who was smart enough to think about that for Gundam. We got very short-robbed on the short-handed on those distributions, so we've been able to give out product every single week for Gundam for every single event we hold, because we knew we needed to keep some of that stuff in stock to make sure that we keep the people coming out for this. And while that's great that we're able to give it out, I really also wish we could have product on the shelf so I could say, hey, I really like this game, you want to play it too? It'd be like, cool, how do I get into it? And it's like, well, either borrow a deck from somebody or pay a scalper astronomical prices for your product. Yeah, that is the situation we're in for some of these TCGs. I digress. Let's get into the news of what's going on with Lifelink Games and start talking about some of this TCG stuff. Starting off with the things I am super, super excited for. Guys, this is great. We got PRBO2 finally this weekend, baby. Finally, one of my absolute favorite sets of all time was PRB1. It is the best product to open. It is the best experience. I love the Gold Dawn. I love the Dawn that came with it that's really unique and unique to whatever deck you might be piloting or want to pilot. I love the alt-art foils. I love the Jolly Roger stamps. I love that they're printing out cards that are extremely hard to get, like Cavendish, which has just been such a hurdle for people to get into certain green decks, even that Zero deck. Getting people that are brand new into the game an opportunity to play catch up, because a lot of people do feel intimidated. There's 12 sets out right now, and some of them well out of print and unaccessible, unless again scalpers or just the people who sat on that set, like the people, the One Piece OP1 that just sat on it for a while and are now releasing it for thousands of dollars. It's like $2,000 for a case OP1. Like, yeah, not cheap. But we are finally in an era where, by the way, if you're a card store, I'm sorry if you didn't make your profit from the cards. Take them off the shelf if you think you're going to lose money. Wait a couple months, they'll go right back up in a decent amount of value. So as things go, expect the market to definitely just tank on some of the singles that they're going to have released in the set, which is absolutely okay, because that means all new players are going to have easy access to building their decks and getting the absolute staples they need for it. But don't sit on your laurels. Don't think it's going to remain that low, because as we've seen from PRB1, as soon after a couple of months and that set actually sold out, no one could get their hands on it, and we were fighting tooth and nail at every Bondi Card Fest for extra product of it, and only the scalpers and some lucky few were able to get a hold of it. The prices started to climb right back up for some of those staples. So yeah, Curly, I am so hyped as well. I cannot wait to get my hands on this product. I can't wait, because we're going to be giving this away as prize support for our championship series. I'm going to be giving away a box on stream. Not the whole thing like I do with this. I got to make it stretch it out, because it's harder to get product like this, not to mention kind of expensive. The channel doesn't make as much money as as it costs me to give the stuff away, but that's okay, because you guys help me out, like Curly and everybody else in the chat. Coming in, hitting that exclamation point, joining me here, that all helps me, and this is exactly why I do it. It's evil. I know, guys. It's evil. I give you guys free cardboard for that dreaded task of hitting hitting the notification button, hitting that like button, hitting the subscribe button if you can. Give me those base bucks if you got them. But definitely just coming back every single week, every single time I go live, is just so helpful for the channel, its growth, and my capability of actually making some money eventually at some point. We'll see. Right now, it's more about the game. It's more about the experience and the community, and I'm all about it. That's what I love about this. I do these things to build the community that we have, which is absolutely phenomenal. One of the best in the region, if you ask me. I'm being biased, obviously. But it is very good to get some players that can play casually, competitively, and just absolutely share your interests in your favorite anime and your favorite shows. Curly says, how dare you give free stuff away, you monster, right? Hazelnut, thank you so much for the exclamation point pack. I do have your pack here. I found it. I will bring this in the store for you next time. I'm so sorry. I will get it to you though. You're good to go. But yes, we have this weekend. It's not a pre-release; it's a release event because they didn't give us like sealed kits or anything. We have what has been expected to be a solid amount of this product, but we don't have it yet. And at that point, that's where you have to kind of sit on the edge, right? Where you're like, okay, we ordered this much. How much are we getting? And they haven't, like, we don't know if we're getting all of our allocation yet. I think he has an idea that it's going to be close, but I don't think it's going to be the actual amount that we originally wanted. So if you haven't yet, please get into the Lifelink Discord. Get yourself a booster box and pre-order one here. We are giving at least one box per person, especially for people who attend the event. That gives us a better idea of like basically players are going to be playing it. And do limit it off after the first night because we want to make sure that everybody has their chance to get a box. And it doesn't just sell out and then nobody has any product. And we definitely don't, we do this for Pokemon, we do this for Gundam. Anything that we notice that the scalpers are doing a number on trying to buy the product and resell it, we go out of our way to make sure that at least give an opportunity for one booster box per person, especially the locals. And then after buys will allow them to get there. And usually when it comes to bigger sales, if you want to get a lot of product, you're going to have to demonstrate that you're an actual player. So you're going to have to come to the store and play the game with us. So we know that we're giving this to somebody who actually wants to improve the actual community of game players versus someone who wants to just come in and buy a case at what we're offering at the lowest MSRP, even in town. I promise you guys, you're not going to find better prices out there. A lot of these stores are doing some pretty, in my opinion, criminal stuff to get their hands on this product. And that's kind of what I want to get into for some of these TCG event stuff that we have right now. If you look into some of the Union Arena sets, I wonder if it's still that low. Yeah, this is a problem. So this is a brand new set that just came out. Oh, it's White Shorts. Thank God. Okay. Come on, give me Union Arena. It's still bad. All right, this is a new set from Union Arena that just came out called Rurouni Kenshin. It actually has a very promising, very promising deck archetype, and the starter decks are looking fantastic. I'm super hyped for this set. I think that this is going to change the way that we play the game. There's a lot of us that are going to be picking this up outside to try and build these decks and get the cards that we need for this. I mean, you can see the tank value on this. It's just absolutely ridiculous. But what's happening here is you have these stores and places that are buying massive amounts of this product. And they're buying massive amounts because if they do that, they buy massive amounts of this, they can get... There. Let's see if these promotional pack. It should have a pre-order out here. Sorry, let me give me just 2 seconds to find the PRB box. It should be out there for me to be able to point some prices on here to give you guys a cross comparison and understand what these retailers are doing. And honestly, what they're doing is they're killing Union Arena. And they're killing the other game that I'm trying to make successful. A lot of cards here. I feel like I should see the booster box at the top here. I thought there was at least one seller that had the actual booster box. That's premium, not promotional. All right, my Googling skills looking pretty bad here. Let's see. I'm gonna give this 2 seconds, and I'm just gonna use one of these as a reference here. I love the difference here. This was definitely not an overprinted set. That's that line where you print too much. Unfortunately, the product is just too much on the shelf, and you put it in too many different other packs that this became a less desired set, even though it has some very powerful cards in it. But all right, so look at the prices on here, what they're trying to do. Individuals are basically trying to buy massive amounts of Rurouni Kenshin here because they know that Bandai will send them more boxes of essentially some of the OP product. And when you get more of the OP product, you can oversell and scalp the boxes for these things. I might just do a Google search. PRB 02. Yeah, this is already overpriced. This is already overpriced. It's not as bad as it was before, but these things should be around 160. What are we selling ours for? It is going to be more than your normal booster box. No, there you go. There you go. Here's the difference. Here's the difference, guys. I can show it to you in real time. 120. 120 for less packs. You do get, I think this is 30 versus the 36 or something like that. But you do get less packs in the set. 120. That is the MSRP for this box. This is how much you should be paying for this box, because this is how much a store can make profit. The appropriate amount of, I mean, I don't know. I think the appropriate amount of profit is so long as they have a good attendance of people willing to support the store in their singles and whatnot. But this is the appropriate MSRP. Now on TCG Player, we've got these things going for $190. Scalping. Right out the bat, already scalping this stuff. They're selling it for $70 over what should be MSRP, which is, they're already making roughly about $15 per profit at the 120. So I'd say about 15, maybe 20 bucks before taxes and all that nonsense. But you get basically a store's buying these things for like $100 a piece here, selling 20 to get $20 profit there to help keep the doors open, pay for electricity and whatnot. And these guys are literally coming out here saying, no, I bought all of this Rurouni Kenshin product here and now selling it at a loss, because these Rurouni Kenshin boxes go for $60 to your store. So it costs us as a store $60 per box, and they're willing to sell it at $10 loss. $10 loss so they can get more allocation of the premium booster type products and sell it at a $70 high to make up for that loss, because this is a hot demand product. Everybody wants it. I can sell it at $70 more than what it should be, so I can make money on this stuff, so I can make the difference. And that's why I'm selling these things at a loss. Well, good for you. Good for you. Congratulations. You've screwed over the community by overpricing your stuff so you can make profit. You've made the product a little bit less affordable, especially for most people, and the economy that we're living in today, it's not easy to get into a hobby with prices like that. That's a lot of money for a box of cards, a cardboard. A lot of money. That's a lot to ask of somebody. And when you have food, you have gas, you have housing payments, you got taxes, you got so much to look and spend on. They want you to spend $190 on this. Is it a good product? Yes. Is it worth $190? Probably not, especially after these boxes get opened, because all the singles in here are going to be absolutely nothing. But that's not the point. The point is to get the product cheap for the players so they can get into the game. The point of this box is to get new players in. You are not going to entice new players by selling it $190 and saying, hey, I got this amazing hobby you want to get into. It's only going to cost you $190 to get a basic box that's not even going to give you enough to play the game, but it'll make you feel good for a couple seconds. Yeah, right, you're right. Money, Mr. Krabs, right? Lonely the US, I wish I could pick them up and I could get the PRB for MSRP. Lonely, I wish we could start growing our franchise, because if we had the money and had the capability, 100% we would do that. We at Lifelink Games are doing our absolute best to try to fight the scalpers as best we can, but there's a reason why we limit how many we sell, for the very reason I'm just showing you. Like, on right now, pre-sales, $190 for the pre-sale for this stuff, or you could come to our local store and get it for $120 where you're supposed to get it at. But we only get so much because we're a small store. We can't buy pounds and pounds and pounds, or like get pallets of this stuff, because we don't have the money and resources to afford that. Nor would we get it unless we can afford all the rest of the stuff. And we're trying to keep a lot of these games alive. We're supporting Gundam. We're actually hosting events and doing tournaments for Union Arena. And the same thing for a little bit with Digimon. And they're not doing too well, but I mean, we've had some events where we'll be able to fire and help to get those things going. We're still supporting the community. We're still getting the stuff and still giving them the opportunity to get together to play those games. We're doing this for the new upcoming games that are coming out. We're doing this for a lot of like a Riftbound that's coming out soon. We do this for Magic the Gathering. We do it for Flesh and Blood. We found out that a lot of local stores weren't giving decent and adequate pricing to Flesh and Blood, so we grabbed a bunch of those guys by showing them what adequate, good pricing is. But this is what we're doing in this local area for Lifelink Games to try and combat this nasty system that's literally destroying our game. Like, let me explain to you guys like why this is a problem for like other games. Like it is a problem for your own game, for One Piece, for the reasons I already explained. That prices like this do prevent people from getting into the game, and you're going to put a sour taste in people's mouths, and I'll show you what I mean by that in a magic example in just a minute. Curly says, that's why I love Lifeline events, keep everything alive. Absolutely, Curly. We are for the community always first. Community first has been our ethos. But here's the problem when you do things like this. Running Kenshin shouldn't be any less than $70. No less than $70, and that's stretching it, because you're barely making any profit after taxes. I don't think you're making much of anything after taxes. So $80 is the expected value of what you should be selling these boxes at. 70 should be the lowest that you can possibly sell them at, just because you got to expect to maybe even break even at some point for your customers here. What this tells the market is this game is dead. No one's playing it. You know what this tells people who get into this game? That this product isn't worth your time, isn't worth anything, and there is no value to it. This is selling so incredibly cheap that getting new people into, for the opposite reason of, oh, this is too much of a price gap, getting people into this one, they're like, what's the value in this? This game looks like it's dying. If it's dying, then why would I invest in something that's dying? It's a realistic problem. You're not going to get new players to jump into these games and enjoy these games if you're sending signals to the public that it's a dead game, that the stores have to sell it in a negative. Additionally, you have stores that say, wait a minute, if I'm buying these at $60 a box and I'm storing these on the shelf, and then this guy's selling it for $50, some guy's going to come into my store and say, if this guy's selling it for 50, why aren't you selling it for 50? Why aren't you being nice? Why are you being greedy? Why are you being so greedy trying to sell it at $60 when he's selling it for $50? This guy is a nicer guy. No, he's not. He's literally doing this so he can scalp the PRB boxes. That's the only reason he's doing it. He's not doing this because he's a good guy. He's doing this because he has to buy a crap ton of this product just to get this product, and he wants a crap ton of it so we can sell to the scalper prices. That's all he's doing it for. So then now we got to deal with customers saying, I guess we got to sell at a loss then if we're going to sell the product. What store, let's be honest with each other, what store, honestly, you guys, do you think is willing to say, I want to buy a product to lose money? If you are a person buying anything to which you were trying to sell, anything in your life, you're in your life and your job is out there and you're saying, I'm going to run a lemonade stand. Lemonade costs me $20 a glass, and I'm going to sell the glasses for $10 a piece. I'm throwing out figures, obviously the expensive market here. But if you're a person who says it costs me $20 to make a glass of lemonade, and I'm going to sell each lemonade glass for $10, meaning every glass I'm losing $10. How long does your business stay open? Be realistic, guys. How long does your business stay open? If you're losing $10 on every sale, your business doesn't stay open. You don't get to keep going. So as a business owner, you say, I'm not going to do this product. I don't want anything to do with it. I get complaints from customers because I can't sell it at a loss. I'm getting complaints from all these other people, and people aren't investing in this thing because the game's dead. It's only $50. This just came out. This is an amazing set. What do you mean? You didn't even give it time to breathe on the market before you put these jacked up prices out here. This is a great game. A lot of fun. But to the consumer, oh, it's a dying game. Why would I invest my money into a dying game? I'm just going to lose my butt on that. And if I'm going to pay this price, I'm going to go to my local game store and demand that they lose money. The local game store should lose money because this guy's willing to lose money. Meanwhile, we're the same game store who's trying our absolute hardest to sell everything in MSRP. No jacking up prices. None of this BS gameplay where we jack up the price over here to compensate for the loss of price here. None of that nonsense gaming for you guys. We want this game to be playable for you. We want you to get in the store, enjoy our time with playing these games, and ensure that you can afford the product. This is not affordable. Not in the long run. This is not something that's sustainable. You cannot, and here's where I get into Magic the Gathering, and this is my prediction that I told you guys I was onto something. Some people were saying I was wrong, but it doesn't matter. Who cares? We all have a different opinion. I could have been wrong, but I just happened to be right. Here's what happened to Magic the Gathering, who decided to do this premium crap, this premium pricing crap for their product. Here we have One Piece at $5.22, completely sold out. Here we have Pokemon, for obvious reasons, it's sold out. because the scalpers are crazy with this game as well. But here you have Spider-Man, premium product, looking like they have a pretty healthy stash left there. You got a lot of collectible cards here. It's still available to pick up. Seem to be collecting some dust. Same thing with this brand new Spider-Man set that Lily just dropped. An IP that very loved. Guys, I love this IP. I think Spider-Man's great. I have all the comic books. I've been collecting since I was a kid, reading it since I was a kid. I absolutely one of my favorite heroes out there. Wolverine's top, but he's definitely one of my favorite heroes out there. Great set. I was kind of excited a little bit. I didn't want to pay these prices. Still don't. Still can't. It's too much. What happens when your product gets too premium? People stop buying it. When people stop buying your product, you lose money. And when you start losing money, you start tending down to a way that the card game can't survive. Is One Piece at that point? Definitely not. Not even close. Not even close. I think it's in a decently very healthy spot that it has some roadblocks it needs to get over. The distribution has to work on their marketing strategies, and remember the supply demand. That's how that works. That's how you do pricing. Curly says, I heard someone else also talking about how the Spider-Man set was going to sell badly. It was. I knew it was going to. Why did this set sell so badly? Why? Because you burnt people on Final Fantasy. You allowed the prices to scalp to, and they probably still are. Because as honestly guys, as a person that owns these card games, I understand. You can set prices. You can tell them, we will not sell to you if you sell at these prices. You can put these things as a store to make sure that they don't do this. Guys, no. That's $1,200 a box. That's $1,200 a box of this. No. In no realistic timeline, let's do just Final Fantasy singles. Let's go filter out here. Let's go high to low. Let's go into singles here. Let's try to make our money back. Filters. Magic the Gathering. Final Fantasy. English. Save. It's all a sealed product. Where'd I get the... Come on. What filter is keep... I don't want sealed product. Just want singles. Does anybody know what I'm looking for right here? I'm trying to... Like, I don't have sealed product checked. I don't want these. I just want the singles. Normal. I had a lot more results than that. This isn't the wrong TCG. Yeah. It won't even give me. Dang it. Why is it? All right, cool. Now we're getting into some stuff here. Okay, so $8,000 for 6 of these things for a card that is like 1 in every 7 cases that you may be able to make your money back in. I'm talking cases, guys, not booster boxes. This is 6 booster boxes. So imagine having to buy about 7 to 8 of these to get this back. And this is a lottery win. You're not going to get this thing. Your likelihood of getting this thing very, very low. Your likelihood of getting one of these is more likely. But only one of these is probably going to be 1 per case. So you can get this, or you can get one of these per case. All right, so we're talking about getting about maybe, what is this, 30% of your profit back? All right, let's go to the next highest thing. This is not Magic the Gathering. This isn't Magic the Gathering. This is. Now let's get into the singles here. We're going to make the money back in the singles. Now I got to pull this guy. He was impossible to pull. And you got to get in search foil, which is incredibly difficult because you only get 2 search foils per box. One can be a rare and one can be an uncommon. You could get a mythic, maybe. The chances are it was most likely going to be a rare or an uncommon out of 2 out of every single box that you paid for. So maybe you get one of these 2. Maybe you get Cloud. Oh, it's starting to fall off here, guys. Unless I'm getting search foils, unless I'm getting these very, very rare search foils, starting to fall off here. I'm starting to lose money. I hate that there's actual Magic or Final Fantasy TCG mixed in the middle of here. But I'm trying to look at specifically the actual Magic the Gathering. We're still in search foil territory. Page 4, we're still in the lucky, very rare, few, $38. If I go down lower, I'm trying to get just to the base cards here. All right, here's Extended Art, one of the best, the chase cards of the set. The chase card. Sermon, good to see you. $51 for the chase card. You might be lucky if you get one of these, maybe 2, but it won't be the same art style. And this box. The chase card. $51. What did we spend to get $51 back from our box? What did we spend? $1,200 for a $51 card. $1,200. This is what happens when you don't control the market. This is what happens when you don't set prices and you allow people to run with this nonsense. This set hasn't been out for more than a month and a half. And when you had the whales buying and paying this money to get a $35 return, $50 return on investment, and spending this kind of money, you know what they did? They left. The people that were buying this product, they left. They're going to sit here for a while at this price. I don't see mostly selling, I'll be honest with you. Unless you're willing to spec and sit on this for about 20 years, these are going to sit here for a while. It's going to keep going down. Because the people aren't buying it anymore. They're losing their butt, if you will, trying to get some of that value back. And the only way you can get a value back is if you win the lottery. And it's not even that much of a return. It's like next to nothing. You buy this one, you get the best card out of the set, optimally sell it for the price that's listed here. You made $200 with a $7,800. I know stocks and penny stocks I can make more money back in a day, in 2 days. And it's not going to be near as hard for me to find a buyer who's willing to spend $8,000 for that card. Let alone paying the shipping and handling, the taxes on it. The government comes and says, you sold a card for $8,000. You owe us thousands. Bro, no, you burnt all your whales. All of your whales were like, bro, I'm buying a product that has a nothing in return. Nothing. Why am I going to spend money on the next set if I'm going to make nothing back? And that's why we got this. Everyone who was spending money in Final Fantasy said, screw it, I'm out. There's no money in here. There's no value in here. You're charging me premium pricing. Look at the 2-pack prices here. Premium pricing for for this basic pack that, mind you, at Lifelink Games is still $5.99. At Lifelink Games today, you can get Spider-Man for $5.99, which is the base price of Magic the Gathering products. We are selling them for $5.99 just to make sure that the customer can get their price here. Walmart's overselling to us, which is insane to say because Walmart's usually just, they're the way to kill small business by undercutting us. But we're undercutting Walmart on prices for this stuff. That's not moving. And this product. It is a fun set. It is a fun product, guys. All the hate everyone's going out there, I'm sorry. This is a really fun product. Is it worth this? No. But is it a good product? Yes. Absolutely. I would play and draft this all the time. I'd play this in sealed all the time. I already do. I play every Saturday. If you guys want to join me on Saturdays, we got our new Spider-Man League thing you can guys get into for our draft stuff. It's gonna be super fun. But this is a great set. I love the card. I love the arts on it. I love what they're doing to the set. I could not be more pleased with what's in the set. The problem with the set is I'm not willing to pay that. It ain't worth that. It's not even close to being worth that. This set deserves to be at a discount because it's a lesser set than most Magic sets. It has less cards than most Magic sets. It's less variance. The value in these packs are significantly weaker than any other set that they've printed before. There's nothing that you can get back on this thing that really makes your money back. Outside of like the serialized, like maybe you get really lucky and you get the really hard to pull Soul Stone. You get the Soul Stone, yeah, you can get your money back. Congratulations. There's one. Go chase the lottery. Go for that. You can get your money back. You can get some value back. But other than that, no. Half the cards have been reprinted 1,000 times to oblivion. Half the cards are readily available elsewhere, and the Spider-Man cards really ain't going to make that much of an impact in the game. There are a few that'll do some stuff. There's a few that are not, don't get me wrong, there are going to be about 5 or 6 cards on this set that are going to be interesting to play with and are going to change up the metas in certain formats. Slightly. Because there's some optimal cards here. But this ain't worth it. And Magic's going to lose their butt if they keep trying this game where they're trying to charge us premium prices when we can't afford premium prices and not giving us a premium return. Now, I will argue that you could get some of your return here, depending on what you get. And here, because some of these Gold Dawn here can actually go up pretty well after prices here. Want to show you, yeah. So if you get lucky in this set and get one of these Gold Dawn, the one that's the chase, you could end up with something like this. This held its value quite well and still going up. Oh wow, no, that dropped from what, $1? Did it drop that? No, that was somebody trying to. This is a market manipulation. This is market manipulation. Ignore this. Yeah, this is just someone trying to get someone to sell it low so they can buy all the product out, because there's not much listed here. 23 listens, so they're. Near mint foil Japanese. Yeah, no. In English sales, yeah, no. This one's gold. This is Japanese here. That's bold. That's bold. But regular sales, 326. Yeah, this to me right here reeks of market manipulation. They probably sold one really low, trying to hope that people would sell theirs that low so they can buy them that low. But yeah, the Gold Dawn, it's going to hold some value. It's comparable. But then again, I mean, also take a difference here. This right here is a premium product. This is a premium product. Here's Magic's premium product. Right here. A little bit of a difference. A little bit of a less of a barrier to entry for one of these two. A little bit. Because their premium product was $8,000. Our premium, which is premium in my opinion, even scalped, which is too high, much cheaper. And this is why Magic the Gathering is going to slump, and it's not going to die. It's not. Magic the Gathering isn't going anywhere. You're going to have people, they're not going to give up in the game. They're going to carry it through. It's going to keep going through. It's just going to be through a lot of hard times, and it's going to lose a lot of players. And I think it's an opportune time for Bondi to start grabbing those disenfranchised people. So until Hasbro gets their head out of the rear and starts figuring out how to control their prices and get people to make it affordable, because you are a hobby at the end of the day. You are an option. You're not a need. You're a luxury item for a hobby that if the stores can't produce and they can't host your game and they can't hold it, your game will die and you'll lose profit. But will it die? No, it's Magic the Gathering. It's been through worse. I've seen it go up and down all the time. But as a fan of premium Bondi and a fan of Bondi in general, this is your prime time to start stealing your audience back. Stealing and taking over and becoming the best of the best in the TCG. This is your opportunity to take advantage of the stumbles that Magic the Gathering is doing right now. Grab those people. Print more. Price control your product. Price control it. Allow the market to speak for itself. Allow it to grow on its own. Allow it to be managed by the own people that want to play that game. But price control your sealed product. Stop people from being able to do this. Scalp. Stop them from print enough so the scalping isn't even isn't a possibility. That no one has a credit card big enough to be able to buy all the product in the town. Make sure that the people can get your product. Keep it affordable. Keep it this way. People will come. they'll play the game, and they'll realize that not only have you built a really wonderful, fun IP, but you've made it affordable to the people so they can use this as a hobby and not have to take out a second mortgage in order to afford the next box set that came out just so they can play your game. Yep, that's my point, guys. Please don't buy from scalpers. Don't buy them. Don't buy the $60 bundle here for no extra pack. Don't buy the scalper prices and the FOMO for Gundam. Wait. Allow Bandai to come up with solutions and print some more and make them carry the bag for trying to scalp the product. And if you're out there and you have the product, please make some extra and help other people get in the game. Do what we do in our community. Throw decks at people. Allow them to be able to play the game. Allow them the chance to get to wait long enough for the product to become available. And Bandai, print some more, please. Please. That's going to do it for my opening intro. I know it's kind of a uppy, downy, downer, upper. I'm so happy you guys got here. Tazzy says, I hope I pull another Gold Dawn. I got Magellan Dawn last time. Oh, bro. I like Magellan. I wish Magellan would have done pretty well. I'm hoping all of you do. The Gold Dawn distro is actually higher than it was last time. So there is a good chance you'll get a good one. Remember that there's going to be the chase one still. And remember to hold on to those things because a lot of people are going to be chasing to get 10 Dawn. And I honestly don't think they printed enough Gold Dawn for anybody who's a fan of certain decks. So there's going to be a lot of flinging and trading, and that's where your big value is going to be coming, is all those Gold Dawn, the potential for the manga that is in this set. And save it, guys. Open it, enjoy it. Save those cards. They're going to tank, but they're going to go right back up. They're going to go right back up after enough time when people can't get it. And we're all going to be 6 months from now going, man, I wish I would have gotten some PRB. Man, I wish I would have got more. I can't believe they're sold out everywhere. I had to fight somebody at McDonald's for a pack of sniff of a PRB. I'm just kidding. It's none of that made sense, but you get my point. Get into it while you can. Invest into it while you can. If you guys, this is going to be a banger of a set. I've seen some box openings. I'm super excited. Don't get overwhelmed. Don't spend more than what you can afford to spend, because this is a hobby at the end of the day. So make it a hobby, keep it a hobby. Have some fun. Let's get together. I'm going to take a quick break. When we come back, 4 rounds of One Piece TCG. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
I believe in you. seeking what's not meant to be mine, far and wide, until the ground swallows up all I am. No, I won't give up. I know I'll find. We'll be dancing all night. My hands around your waist. I cannot wait till we're dancing all night. I just wanna hold you close. Never let you go, never let you go. I've been waiting for a long, long time, but nothing comes to those. Nothing comes, I know you're out there. I will find you. I know I'll find. We'll be dancing all night. My hands around your waist. I cannot wait till we're dancing all night. I just wanna hold you close. Never let you go, never let you go.
Welcome back to Humble Pie. I'm your host, Jimmy D, and that was an amazing poll. Wolf, congratulations. I love those event arts. Absolutely crazy good, and that one was the good one. The Sanji one is beautiful. Don't get me wrong, I got to see the thing up front and close, and as a person, a big fan of Sanji, I think he's a good character, but honestly, this one, the Zoro one, is just absolutely beautiful and stunning, and it has a lot of value to it. I don't know what he's going to do with it. It's up to him. It's his card, but congratulations on that amazing poll. I really wish that the Bonnie was a Kuma, because I know he's been chasing those Kumas like crazy, but that is what it is when you have two secret rares out there. You're going to either get the Bonnie or you're going to get the Kuma, and Kuma, of course, is the one that everyone's chasing. All right, so tonight we have 4 rounds of this amazing One Piece TCG that I am super excited to bring to you guys. We got some awesome new decks. We have some awesome new spice. We got some new players, some new tenders, some repeat offenders coming back. Really looking forward to showcasing these decks, getting on these deck lists. We got 4 rounds of One Piece content coming your way as we're going to cast over our first matchup between Curly, brand new, first time last week on camera, and a new Dark Tagnan MF. Coming in the house, we got ourselves 2 new players, or 2 new decks to showcase to you guys. Curly's, we got his update. I did not get the list for the blue yellow Nami that you're about to watch here on the stream, but I did get a good idea of what it looks like. I watched the video intently and copied all the cards that you will see, so I made sure that I at least accounted for the cards that were in the deck that I was able to see. And we'll go over those deck lists right now. So let's get into our round 1 opponents here. All right, starting off with my absolute favorite, one I took out to the last chance qualifier. I was having so much fun with this deck. And guys, if you haven't caught up in the actual manga at this point, you're going to have a whole new level of respect for this man. No spoilers. Obviously, we don't do spoilers for anything unless it's been in the anime. So I will not go over in great detail of what I'm talking about, but I will tell you, for those that have read it, you know what I'm talking about. The respect goes high for Silver's Rayleigh, and some awesome, memorable moments that I cannot wait to see turned into cardboard at a future state. Especially the way that this one's going here. It is absolutely beautiful. Loving where the story's going. Getting our finally getting some news, some stuff that we've been talking about and speculating on for gosh knows how long. But really, definitely a showstopper. Getting some background for him. If you guys want to know what the story is all about, catch up on the manga. Definitely worth reading. It is absolutely outstanding. Ode outdoes himself almost every single week. All right, let's get into the actual card game itself. So, what is Rayleigh? Rayleigh is a brand new leader from OPO 12 or OP12. I'm so used to OO because I was playing for so long, but it's OP12 here. Now, this one, really interesting. He's one of the few leaders out there that has a deck build rule lock here. So under the rules of the game, you cannot include cards that cost 5 or more in your hand. Very few leaders in the game have this kind of stipulation where you have a limit to how you can construct this one overall. And honestly, when this thing was first printed, we were like, but how do I play Rayleigh? Because both the Rayleighs are 5 and 8 that are available to play right now. So I can't even play Rayleigh in Rayleigh? That's weird. But after seeing the deck, a lot of people are like, oh, this is probably going to be pretty bad. You got to play it like Zero. You got to play it like that. Maybe do that kind of thing. And honestly, after the set came out, people were shocked. The numbers were putting up. This deck was actually kind of consistent. It was a new fast red. It was exactly what red needed to be. Low to the ground, hit your opponent's face as quick as possible, and try to get underneath everything that is in the meta. And that's where this deck succeeds, because it has capability of just plopping out so many different characters for such a low dawn cost, along with being able to pump them up. Rayleigh's ability, once per turn, reveal 2 of your event cards, and one of your characters with a base power of 4,000 less gain plus $2,000 power this turn. So 5 life leader, mono here, get yourself revealed 2 events, which you're going to see this deck is extremely heavy on. A lot more events than you see in other decks here, and all of them being 0 cost outside of this Divine Departure. But all of them being essentially a free event that you're going to be basically digging for and searching for, because this deck has some linear capability of what it's trying to accomplish here. Of course, like I said, it is trying to get underneath every single deck. And how to do that, it first needs the consistency of seeing all the right events at the right time. So we're going to see search events. Nami, basically searching up the Straw Hats. You want to get your Zoros, want to get your Sanjis, want to get your Monkey D. Luffy's here. You got Shaka, which finds this Luffy or will find events. You've got this Buggy, which finds these red events. You've got this Boa that finds this Monkey D. Luffy or these events. So a lot of searchers in this deck, allowing you to basically get these events in hand to make sure that you can always proc leader effect and proc other cards in here that also benefit from events. This one in particular, you can give 2 Rested Dawn by revealing 2 to one of your leaders or one of your characters. Really good. Having this thing out here is also a nice little attacker for something that needs to get around, like board locks, like the Buggy 3-4 cost lock here. It's a nice way around it, but also just a great engine to help shoot your swings with your Zoros, your swings with your leader and kid killers out here. And if you're lucky enough, because I never got lucky enough to swing with this, but Monkey D. Luffy, probably the powerhouse of the deck. So if you have 2 given Dawn, this thing gets an base additional plus 2,000. So even if it's underneath it, if you put 2 underneath it, it's 8,000 power. If you put 2 under anything else, it's a 6,000 power swing. And has an amazing on play, where you also reveal 2 red event cards and summon a character with 3,000 power or less from your hand. And then you give 1 Rested Dawn to your leader or character. Loot Goblins! Hope you're all having a good day. I'm hoping you're having a good day. Welcome back, Loot. Good to see you. Do I have a pack for you? I feel like maybe I sent it out already. Yeah, I think I already sent it out. Yeah, I remember seeing your name here on something earlier here, but welcome back. Good to see you. But yeah, Monkey D. Luffy here is the powerhouse of the deck. If you can swing with this thing, you're probably going to be taking the game in your favor, because this thing is absolutely disgusting. Popping out one of these searchers for free, getting out the Buggy, which is an absolute staple necessary in the Zoro heavy format, because this one can't be KO'd by slash effect. You have Sanji, which is your counter starvation strategy. So a lot of people going out there talking about, you need to starve Rayleigh, you need to starve Rayleigh. Well, if you try to starve Rayleigh and they got the Sanji, starvation plan ain't going to work for you. In fact, I was so terrified of the starvation strategy being used against me, I went up to 4 on this Sanji and cut some of my rush, which was actually to my detriment based on my matchups. I should have kept the rush package in. So following the trap of listening to the news and all these people's strategies and thinking everyone's listening to the same news that I am, that's not always the case. Not always paying attention. None of the opponents that I played tried to starve me, and especially in decks where the literal like in a blue-purple Luffy match, the #1 thing said about it is you starve the Rayleigh in order to beat the Rayleigh. and they never starved me. They put the pressure on, they kept the pressure on, and it was just too much for my deck to keep up with. And having not enough of the rush factor in my deck, was I able to overcome it. So hopefully, Curly learning from my mistakes here, keeping the rush package in line here to make sure that we have the Kid Killer and the Roronoa Kid Killer and Roronoa Zoro. Now, let's talk about the key events here that you really want to be paying attention to. One, you're going to want at least one, if not two of these things in late game. The fact that you can give your leader unblockable for the turn is usually the last case swing that you want to get in with. And if you've been keeping the pressure on your opponent, they shouldn't have a large hand size. Mean that the chances of them blocking that last one, even if they got like 4 or 5 trying to wall up as best they can, you can put this thing out and ensure you're going to go in for the game of victory. I've won a lot of games with this card, so definitely want to pay attention to it. Second one you're going to want to pay attention to, especially if you're trying to get a massive swing in here. Not this one, that's a searcher. But this one right here, allowing you to attach a... Nope, wrong one. Too many elephants. It's too many elephants. This one, you get to add an attached active Dawn to your Silver's Way Late, but give it a plus 1,000. So you get 2 of these. Along with one of these, you can swing 17 with lead. It's one of the strongest lead swings you can get in a 5 base power leader to date here. So really nice seeing that big bonus here. Obviously, there's other math and other decks. I know there's always outliers. What I'm saying in this meta right here, a 17 in front of 5K leader is really hard to pull off. You need 2 of these here and 1 of these to make sure it gets through the unblockable. I did it twice to a blue-purple Luffy deck, and he countered it twice. It was kind of nuts. Of course, we had Divine Departure to ensure that we have an answer to Buggy, not to Dracula Mihawk, but an answer to Buggy, I guess, to try and get rid of it and try to not have your deck completely be locked down with that Shoe Buggy card. But it is a card you're definitely going to want to have in here, especially against Use's Kid decks, because green is a viable color out here. You're going to see a lot of decks like this that are playing the Mihawks and whatnot, and you're going to want to get past some of these big blockers that this deck may struggle with. His opponent, Blue Yellow Nami, and I gotta say, as a person who's seen Blue Yellow Nami or Blue Yellow decks on this channel quite a bit, it's really blue yellow good stuff. It's never really a Straw Hat or the King, what is it, the King Pirates, or the Beast Pirates from Kaido. It's not you're not getting like a lot of synergy with these decks. You're having a lot of cards that you can just look at this board and look at the different IPs. We got Trafalgar Law starting off with this blocker. Then we go over to Nami's Mom, which is arguably on theme. But then we got Kizoki Hiyori, and I don't remember those two interacting much at all, but an important combo and necessary piece for here. You have Zeus, which is good. It goes with it. Capone Beige, kind of interacted a little bit, not much. Never saw a lot of Capone Beige, but it's a very good card to have in the deck. Pudding, definitely didn't interact much, if at all. Sanji, that makes more sense. Kikanojo, not really, but we're going there. Now we're going to Sky Island and Satori. Then we move over to Charlotte Katakuri with the Big Mom Pirates. Then we go over to Nico Robin, and this one just being an absolute plus because just beautiful card here. Nico being able to on-play Trash of Life, which is kind of the theme of this deck here. If you really start looking at it, we have a lot of themes here with the trashing life. You have the new Kuma, which is the hot demand, one we're hoping to pull tonight, because good gosh, this card is amazing. On play, you may treasure card from your hand, add up to 1 card from the top of your decks to your life cards. Then this character gains +2 cost until the end of turn. Just get to heal. And on opponent's turn on a KO, add up to 1 card off the top of your deck to your opponent's life card, like to your life deck. This is a heal. Trash a card from your hand, add a life, dies, do it again, add a life. Kuma just absolutely sharing the benefits of this extra life capability, and this one, the reason why it's so highly desired, because you're getting that life back you need, especially with a leader that procs on life loss here. And this one, the effect is activated when a card is removed from your opponent's life cards. You or your opponent's life cards, and if you have 7 less cards in hand, you get to draw a card. So a lot of these cards that like to take life, put some back, extra draw engine to help the draw power here, especially in the early game and late game. At any time they hit you, you can get an extra draw card to hopefully get into it. This one, Don ×1 underneath your leader. On your opponent's attack once per turn, you may trash 1 card from your hand. Your leader gains +2,000 during this turn. During this turn, you can make Nami a 7K leader for the turn. Remember this, pay attention to this. Get that Dawn underneath this leader. It's super powerful ability. Just discard 1 card to make a 7K for the turn. Insane. Going into 6 cost Big Mom, of course, for the choice of life or whatever her choice was. But basically, you could put a card And trash on top of your, you can trash one of your opponent's life, so you can get 2 cards from to hand here, or trash 2 cards from hand. So not a great choice for your opponent here on the 6 cost. I'm sorry, I'm thinking about the 10 cost in my hand for life or death, but still very bad choices here. You've got yourself the Rush Luffy here at 8 cost. When attacking, you may trash a card from your hand, return up to 1 character that costs 4 or less to your owner's hand, get rid of those blockers. Then give up to 1 Rested Dawn card to your leader or characters. So every time you're attacking, get rid of, just keep bouncing that blocker, keep pushing in that threat with this Gum Gum Giant, or this, yeah, this Gum Gum Luffy here. We have Eustace Captain Kid, a new one from the OP 10 set. You may rest this character, trash 1 card from the top of your opponent's life cards. See the theme? See the theme? A lot of trash in your opponent's life here, and gaining some life, because that's the yellow side here. We have some removal here from the Gum Gum Red Rock and Raging Tiger. Absolutely gems of cards that you want to have within these blue-yellow good stuff, because these cards are great for 2-for-1s and just the answer to anything. On top of that, the player using the Gum Gum Rain, which is at 0 cost, trash a card to get plus 3,000. So taking, basically trying to capitalize on the fact that there's a lot of no counter in here, but the leader itself actually kind of helps out with a lot of this no counter here. We got no counter from Kikinojo, the Trafalgar Laws, nothing here from the Ace, Eustace Kid, all the top end here, not a whole lot of counter here. So taking advantage of the fact it doesn't have much counter, does have that ability with the leader, and could be a factor for a lot of these swings. Want to get that thing up here, want to make sure that it's harder for that low to the ground deck to smack into you, while you're also getting more draw power than your opponent. Here's the decks: Nami versus Rayleigh. Tell me in the chat, please, who you think is going to win this thing. Let's find out between these 2 players what happens. Curly in the bottom. D'Artagnan. I should have moved this thing before I got in there. But ready to go. Players shuffled up, ready to deal. Put up 4 life for the Nami player. Curly going to put up 5 for his after a mulligan here. Curly says it's definitely Rayleigh. Rayleigh all day, baby. Rayleigh is the deck to play. This one, I love Nami, but trust me when I tell you guys, I have got more respect for Rayleigh after these last few issues have come out than you could possibly imagine. The mole was apparently a mistake for Curly here. It's the mole. Welcome back. Good to see you. Thank you for the chat. Taking a look at the board, it should be up to date for you. I think if you look to the new leaderboard, we've made that fix based on your correction. Hoping to see it come out this week here on Tuesday. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you keeping me honest, making sure I keep track of it. I need extra eyes, guys. It's hard when you're working 3 different jobs and trying to get this information out to you. I do make mistakes. Good. I'm glad to hear it. I do want to let everybody know that tomorrow we will be going live. I am going up to DC this week, so I will not be able to do my Thursday normal coverage here. So please turn in tomorrow. I will grab 2 packs in the box, come to the store, and I will be giving away 2 more as our live coverage in the studio. And our live play for this championship series is conducted at Lifeline Games tomorrow. All right, Curly starting off with a decent play. Yeah, would have loved to see a turn 1 play, but still not bad. Getting a Sanji that has a nice little plus 1,000 on his turn, or plus 3,000 on his turn. So nice little 3K, and replace itself on KO. So good answer here. But here comes 5, getting 2 from Darton. Really showcasing. Apparently he has the cards for days here. Wants to keep his hand at a decently low level here, because of course he can't get over 7 if he wants to make sure that the leader ability procs. And smart to defend early. I like that. Kikinojo coming out here. Now this one not going to be live for its ability to heal up until his opponent gets down to 3 life, but a nice little 6K attacker. So I don't know if it's unfortunate for Darton to have to play it out of here. You want to get into life, keep the pressure on here, but looks like Curly gonna get a free draw from that taking the life here, 5-5. Or sir, Dart gonna get himself a nice little extra draw because of the hit to Curly's life there. 5 Dawn turn for Curly. This will be the optimal time to maybe get out of Luffy if you possibly can. Get some 3 swings in here for a potential 7-6 with an additional search. Maybe a 7-7 with additional search. Tapping 3 for Zoro. Okay. Not a bad start here. We're going to have at least 3 attacks now. Let's see if Rayleigh can use, by the way, the 2 event reveals here to boost the Sanji, because remember, it does say base attack. So the Sanji does get the +2. Even though it's a 6K attacker this turn, it will get a boost if Curly is willing to show 2 events to his opponent. But first, we're going to do the buggy search for the red event off the top 5. Finding one of the events that he might need. This is the searcher event. Bottom the rest. Nice to allow his opponent to read the card, offering the card. I really do respect that, Curly. Really appreciate players to do that. Allow the opponent to see what it is in your hand. But then on Curly's point, make sure that you're always revealing the same too. Don't give them any more information than you have to, especially with a deck that forces you to give so much information to your opponent. So activating the leader ability is going to reveal 2, one of the mains like he just showed, and the additional one that adds additional power and a 2k counter on the SPAC swing. Likely going to pump up that Sanji to give itself an 8k swing. Yep. Can't do it for the Zoro, too strong, but this one gonna have the +2, so we're gonna have an 8k swing here coming from Sanji. Possible 5-6. Good on Curly here, attacking the ladder. However, I get where the ladder goes. I can't stress this enough. You gotta go characters before leader. You gotta go characters before leader. You're playing against, especially against yellow. You gotta be careful. Yellow has a lot of triggers. Has a lot of things that can start popping characters from life, can start resting characters from life, or just doing some massively disgusting things. So when playing yellow, always respect the life triggers, this one especially. So do not, I understand the ladder. I told people this all the time. Climb the ladder, start 5, 6, 7, 5, 6, 7, 5, 7, 7. Whatever you gotta do, climb the ladder. But in this particular instance, please attack characters first, especially against yellow. You don't want to risk the chance that one of those triggers ends up screwing up your entire gameplay. We're going to find out if it punishes them. Let's get back in the game. All right, this one to take. Is it going to be a draw? Curly, appreciate you. Here comes 5. Nothing on that. No trigger. Here comes 5. Survives it. Nami at what's essentially 3. Love climbing the ladder here. Gets a 2k from that blocker Sanji from hand. Or 1k. Can't remember what the blocker Sanji's 2. Here comes 8. This one's going to be a lot harder for Dart to actually get out of. But nope. Gives it 2 2ks. A lot of answers from hand trying to protect that life. Good turn for Curly, though. Has 2 threats on the board. 3 threats with Buggy. Still has those events, leaving 1 open. Kind of like telling them I either have the Conqueror's Hockey, or I'm sitting on the Divine Departure with that 1 open. Conqueror's Hockey, a really powerful card. Don't know if we talked enough about that one. All you have to do is, if you rest an active, you reduce every character and leader on your opponent's board by 1,000 for the turn. And a 2k counter from hand. Beautiful. Yeah, trashing. Oh, man, here comes the first Nico trash. That's going to get a draw from the Nami proc here, and getting rid of that unblockable. Here comes 5 to 5. Will Curly defend? I don't see why not. All right, just using a simple 2k. Getting that searcher out of the way, but getting a nice little 2k. Here comes 6 into 3. This one a little bit harder to get. Curly could just go for the draw. Yep, get the extra resource here. Gonna go for the draw. Don't really want to defend these things too much unless it's late game. Don't want to use too many resources, especially on a card. Did Curly draw from that? Did you draw from that? Am I missing something? I feel like you missed your draw. I don't mean to overlay on this thing. I just want to make sure that 5 in here. He forgot the draw. No. Okay. Don't forget the draw, Curly. That's an important card. That's the reason we play this, Sanji. I mean, it's not just for the art. Come on. Yeah, I missed the draw there. And this is why we rewatch our games, right? That's a mistake I don't think he would have ever thought about in his entire life. I'm like, did I ever get to draw on that turn? Oh, but it's okay. You live, you learn, and you get loves, right? All right, we're gonna start off with the search. Put an active Dawn on a relay. He's gonna look at the top 4, looking for a red event or a character of 4 cost or higher. Never crossed my mind. That's what I was thinking, Curly. That's what I was thinking. It's one of those things where like you can go through these games and you're just like, oh, if I won or I lost or something, maybe I hyper focus on the last stages of the game. No one's really thinking about, did I draw from that Sanji trigger? Did I draw from that? I was playing for the 6,000 power. All right, that makes sense. That makes sense. All right, going to go for the search, offering the unblockable good on him to let Dart be able to read that card. Dart needs to be aware that walling up is not going to be the option here. Curly, at 3 life, now should not attack this Kikinojo. That thing should stay on the board as long as possible. Option to go in board, not the choice anyways. This is a red deck and wants to go face. Here we go, Buggy getting a plus 2,000 power, already at 5k. Got plenty of Dawn here. We're going to see if we're going to see some of this Dawn get allocated underneath some of these characters for some good rush and keep the pressure on for this blue-yellow Nami player. Putting 2 and 2 here. Okay. So now we have 7k Buggy swing here. And a 7k Zoro. Don't allocate. Okay. Okay. This isn't an attack against you, Curly. This is all a learning experience from all of us. While it may seem easy, get the Dawn, rest it, put it up there. It's okay. Don't put it underneath your character until you've swung with it. And you never focus on board. That's good to know. But don't put the Dawn underneath it until... Okay, here's what you just did. If for any reason in this life trigger and you swing 7 into this Nami and the 7 goes through and you have to hit a Rocket Nami or a Rocket Luffy that comes out of life and just pops your Buggy, you've lost the Dawn for the turn. It's gone. You already allocated the Dawn. It's gone. And the illegal games, the way the game works, you could have attached that 2 more to your Rayleigh if you wanted to. Like, you have to be careful. You have to respect the triggers. I don't know if it's going to punish you, but do not allocate Dawn until you're willing to attack. And no, it makes the thing easier. It's like, okay, well, I already figured out my Dawn. Set it aside. Do what most people do. We like to stack it in layers. And then we allocate and we go for the swings. But never allocate Dawn until you're trying to swing. Or if you're trying to proc leader ability, that's obviously, you can add the Dawn then. But you're doing that for a different purpose. Don't do it. Don't put the Dawn up early. You got to respect the triggers. You got to. Because you might, maybe, we're going to find out, might have just lost access to that 2 Dawn. Let's get back into it and find out. And getting back to Curly's comment there, he said never focus on board. I don't think Rayleigh cares about board. I really don't. I don't think Rayleigh just should focus on board. But here we go, Dart. Oh, no! No! Exactly how I thought it was going to happen. I have not pre-watched this outside of, like, literally trying to get the cards. I did not know it was going to happen. No! That's... sup, nerd? Good to see you, DK-ish. This is what I'm talking about. You just lost that Dawn. You could have had a 9k swing. No! That's what I was so afraid of. I was so afraid of. Yeah, here comes 7. He discards 2 to get out of it. You could have made it 9 and made him discard 3. Okay, Curly, you understand what I'm talking about. There we go. He's a prophet. Hey, DeCocker, good to see you. A prophet. Oh my God, no! I foresaw that, and only because I'm terrified of yellow, guys. I am absolutely terrified of yellow. Curly says this rewatches help. This is exactly why we do this, Curly. It's exactly not to mention give you guys a Pro Tour experience. But this is exactly why we do this. Looks like we're using Conqueror's Hockey to get a 3k counter, essentially. Now everything on Dart's board, minus 1k. Leader and Kikinojo included. So 3 to protect his Zoro, which is a very good choice. Definitely want to cape it. 5 to 5. Asking for something else here from hand for Curly. Curly really hasn't had to defend too much. Yep, here's a free 2k counter. Now Nami gonna have to see some Dawn allocation if it wants to even get an attack on the Zoro. Getting 1. So at least next turn does have the capability of tapping some. Here comes 2. Here's a nice little 6 into it. Needs a 2k. One of the problems Dart, I don't think, recognizes that, yeah, this deck has nothing but 2ks, bro. This deck is 2k counter all day. You gotta make him spend 2. It's always a math that we put into all these games. You want to attack for 7, get 2 over, whatever the base power might be. You always want to as much as possible because it gets 2 cards in a hand. But especially against Rayleigh, you have to respect that every card in hand is probably a 2k. All these 0-cost events, all the 2k counters in hand, like everything in this deck is a 2k counter almost. If it's not, they've probably already put it on board. Kuma coming out with that early heal, exactly why this card is so good. and having another target that is just not desirable. Even though we know Curly's not going to be focused on board, you're looking at other players, especially like people like Porter, who like to focus on board. He's got 2 targets out there that are absolutely untouchable. I am not going to hit that Kikinojo and heal. Allow them to heal, and I'm not going to hit that Kuma and allow them to heal. It's just not going to happen. I cannot afford to lose that tempo, which means Dart's got 2 decent characters here. Oh, I love this play here. Kid Killer, however, I think due to the heal from Kuma is outside of its power range. So we'll see. Is it 3 or 2 life? I forget. And Buggy for the Surge. Is it 3 or 2? I forget. I want to say it's 2. 2 or less life. Yep, 2 or less life. So is just outside of the bump for the Kid Killer. Yep. Itzamal says, rewatching matches is one of the best ways to correct your gameplay, in my opinion. I do it with this and SF6 quite a bit. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Street Fighter 6 is what he's talking about. Yeah. I actually rewatched a lot of the games from this weekend just to get some extra from Union Arena. I'm doing a lot of research on my own gameplay now, preparing for the Nationals tournament. So I will be using a lot of the content that I even create here just for my own sakes to kind of like the coaches, rewatch the videos, see the stuff. There's a lot you can miss, especially when things are like in the moment, quick, lightning fast. Sports players have figured this out a long time ago. You got to rewatch the videos. You got to record this stuff. I actually had a lot of people when we were first getting started in Lifelink and starting to do this recording, they were asking if they could just record their matches just so they could prepare for the Pro Tour. These guys did go to the Pro Tour. Sam went out to the Flesh and Blood Pro Tour, to be precise. But Sam and the other pro player, Mary, both of them they wanted to watch the games to get better at the game. And I allowed them to use the studio as much as they wanted to. As long as we weren't recording for one of our matches, absolutely was okay with it. All right, looks like Kuma is being discarded for leader ability to give it a 7k for the turn. Here comes a boosted Jimbei here for 7-7. Well, looks like 7-7. Yeah. Gonna need to get one of those life hits here if we're gonna expect any kind of damage for this Kid Killer. Gonna get 2k, so it got another one from hand here, and unfortunately not gonna be able to attack with anything else. Leader effect being at 7 just shut down the turn. There you go. Absolutely devastating, but that's the name of the game. Sometimes you got to be careful. One of the powerful tools in Nami's toolbox, discard. Kuma is slightly small counter, but a nice little 2k for the turn. Literally protected against 2 additional swings. Kuma going to Jimbei. Curly not willing to defend it, using the pseudo blockers. Good call. And Rayleigh, you definitely want to use those as pseudo blockers. Yeah, Curly's like, I'm crying so hard inside. I'm sorry, brother. It's all the growing pains, baby. It's all the growing pains. You can't get good until you start realizing the mistakes you're making and how to improve your gameplay. And that's what this is all about. We're sharpening the blade. We want all of our players to come out here playing the best game they possibly can, while also having fun. So hopefully you're not taking this too critical. I don't want to be coming at you like I'm attacking you or anything. All of this is for everyone's benefit. All those other players out there that happen to be watching, as well as you. I appreciate you, Curly. Thank you. All right. We've gotten all 3 attacks here outside of the leader attack. Not a lot of rushers outside the Portgasti Ace, but I don't think this one, if I remember correctly, it can't, in this type of deck, have rush. If I remember correctly. I think it's locked. The rush ability is locked to the Whitebeards or something like that. Curly says, no way at all. If I want to get better, I need to learn. Absolutely, Curly. Thank you. All right. 5-cost Katakuri coming out here. That's a new one. Don't see this one too often. I don't think we actually even highlighted on it. While they're looking at that and reading that card, let's read it at home. Let's see what he's talking about. So 5-cost Katakuri, didn't really look at it. It is a blocker. Activate once per turn. You may turn 1 card from the top of your life cards face up. Give up to 1 Rested Dawn to your leader and character. All right, so it's just a Nami enabler. It is a 6k blocker, 1k counter. But it's really, it's just kind of like, I'm going to give that free Dawn to Nami to make sure that I can use that ability next turn. So, that's the play for Dart here. Going to turn up another 5-cost Katakuri from life here. Gets arrested on this Nami. Has potential for a 6K swing. Good sequencing on Dart's part here, making sure that he at least kept the Dawn ready for a potential leader swing here. Oh, going big. Here's a 10K swing here from lead. This one not going to be an easy take, but I think honestly is the take to make. If he does take it though, yeah, Curly is going to be on the back foot, and he knows this is the turn I need to end the game. So, first swing has to trigger the proc for the Nami to get it up to 7K. Then every attack after has to attack that hand precisely and hope that it can get the right math to end this game in his favor. Blue, yellow Nami trying to put the pressure on here. Jinbei the play for the first three. Revealing the 2. Gets that Jinbei rush here. Now going to do a search. Activating leader has not attacked. Don't be fooled. Activating that Dawn. Get a look at the top 4 for another. Does have to worry about the 6K blocker, but could be saving up for a lethal attack with Rayleigh if his opponent's forgotten that he has it. Conqueror's Hockey, the defense play. All right. New mistakes, my bad. Dude, bro, we all make these. People make these mistakes as pros. I can't tell you how many times we make mistakes. It's kind of comical to think that people watch these things and like, I can't believe they made a mistake. It's like, you do. You make mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. I have been playing these card games for nearly my entire life, and to date, I make rookie mistakes. Because I'm not paying attention, I rush things, I'm not thinking things thoroughly. Everybody makes these mistakes. So do not feel bad, please. And sometimes we don't know their mistakes until we played against other players. Sometimes you got to get in here. Oh, this Dawn allocation's killing me. Ah, Curly, you're killing me here. Respect the triggers. All right, here comes leader tech 6. Like the Dawn allocation, yeah, please stop. All right, gets a card out of hand here. Stop it from... but this one's going to put it up to 7K. So that is going to be the block. Now every character needs to go for 7. Currently, all can go for 7 if they hit and connect. The problem here is there's 3 life and a blocker. So I don't know how this is going to go. Here we go, 7. Here comes a life. Now the next one he can counter with the card he just got. Here comes 7. Note that Kid Killer is now live. Here comes 7. Out of life here. Looking for the plus 2K, I guess, for the Kid Killer here. But 7, the choice here. Dart has to get some. Gonna take. Kid Killer, not 7. Can come in. Could get blocked. Dart thinking this one through. Does he want to block? Does he want to give out the counter card here? Gonna use a block. Saving his 1 life. Now, no. I want you all to note here. How many cards does he have in his hand? 1. Dart. 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 When you take a life, you draw a card. You took 2 hits from life. You're supposed to draw a card. You should have more cards in hand. So even Dart, as skillful as he's played this match here, I gotta give a lot of respect to Dart here. You forgot to draw, buddy. You forgot what your own leader did. Your own leader did. You got 1 card. You can't tell me you have 7 cards to hand. That's why you didn't draw. You're not drawing. Where's the draws? You're killing me here. Your hand should be huge. Let's get back into it. Itzamol says, not only the trigger thing that Jimmy mentioned, but it also shows your opponent what to expect when it comes to Dawn allocation. Exactly. Actually, that is a solid point. Itzamol, do not allow your opponent to know the math ahead of time to what they need to defend. Never give them that information, because your opponent will then sequence the defense plays accordingly based on what they see. So yes, absolutely, do not give that information to your opponent, because that gives them too much to know how to sequence their turns. You did give away your whole hand, Curly. A whole hand there. All right. Dart didn't draw. I don't know if it's going to matter. No blockers from Curly here. Very low hand from Curly. If I'm Dart, I'm swinging 17 from Kuma to end this game. If Dart goes board, though, all right, goes 6 to life. Asks for 2. Gets it. Maybe trying to get some chump out of the hand to make the math easier for the 17K swing. 6 to life. Gets 2. 7. Okay, going for a 15K swing with leader. Gets 2. And a 1. And Curly should be around of cards here. I think loading up the leader swing here should be it. Unless he's gonna rush ace, and I don't know if ace. Okay, Dart. 10K swing. Yeah, I was gonna say, just load it all up. Dart, what are you doing? Load it all up. He had 1 card in hand. Good match still. Great fun. Great to replay it. Good match on Dart. Congratulations on the win. Curly, I am sorry. Got to give congrats where congrats is due. Great match. I think we all learned something today, and I honestly want to say thank you to Curly for giving me the opportunity to watch over this and see these things. While I can say these things quite easily coming from the back seat, I'm a backseat driver. It's easy for me to call these things. I'm not in the head cannon. I'm not in the studio. I don't have the lights on top of my head. I don't have the opponent staring me down or whatever things going on. And trust me, I played a lot of TCGs. Sometimes when you're in the hot seat, brain don't function no good. Has problems. I make a lot of mistakes sometimes. And it's another reason why I like doing this on camera. I like to get that experience out of the way, so if I ever have the opportunity to play at the higher levels, I don't sweat. I can think the real game. I start playing to prepare for these things. So that another reason why I really enjoy the studio experience and getting these gameplays here. And a lot of my own benefit, obviously, but also a benefit to you guys. I want to share. We do have a pack opening. Dart's going to show us what he got. Let's find out. Curly says, I can't wait till tomorrow so I can improve in real time. Absolutely. I can't wait to see it myself. I've seen a lot of players grow in this channel. A lot of players grow in this channel to getting better and better just by being here and working with this community. So I love to see it. All right, Dart, for those who don't know, we do give bounty packs for people on camera. Winner gets the bounty pack. So we're trying to give away and make this game a little more entertaining and give more thanks. Yo, Tashigi! Hey, there we go. Now I'm giving away something decent value. Come on, baby. Altashigi, let's go. Some value train. Let's see if we can get an alt tonight for our other people here. Let's go, Yakorichi. Absolute fire. Come on, baby. I love it. Straight fire. I love giving away some big hits. Come on. One of these days is going to be a manga. One of these days. It's either going to be a manga from here to give to you guys, or it's going to be out here. It's going to be a manga. I'm going to give it away. Eventually, I'll clip that stuff. I'm going to clip it. Can't wait. But love giving awesome hits to these people. Love to say thank you very much. I'm doing my best here. It is coming out of pocket to help with this, but I really want to start increasing the player base, give them incentive to want to be on camera. And I think it's a great experience overall. I legitimately do. I think that you guys can gain a lot from this, as we've been talking all day about it. But at the same time, I also want to take away the stress of, I gotta be on camera. I hate it when I'm on camera. I hate losing on camera, and I feel ashamed. Get rid of that, guys. Get rid of it. It's about experience. It's about learning. Move past the losses, dust off the knees, get back up, and play again. That's the only way you're going to get better. You got to take those. And honestly, Curly, I don't think you're going to be on camera for the rest of the day. Can you tell people how you ended? Because if I remember correctly, you did pretty freaking well last Saturday. If I remember correctly, I don't want to misquote it. But definitely something that is really something to say about Curly. Dusting off his knees, getting back up, and getting back in the game. Taking that here. Just have fun, guys. It's a children's card game, right? And he got fourth. You did get fourth. You did get fourth. You got points on the board. 1 out to get fourth. That's what it's all about. Curly dusted the knees, got back up there, won off camera. And that's what I like to hear. Like, just didn't take it personally, didn't let it ruin his day, just kept going forward and got himself right up to fourth, even with a round 1 loss. I won all the rest of my match. That's what I thought. That's what I thought, Curly. See, and that's what it's about for you at home. Dust it off, take that on the chin, move on, get to the next round, focus. You know you got a good enough deck, you can get there. Smile Hoodie, good to see you. Thank you for the chat and welcome to the. Let me know if you want to be in for the wheel. I don't know if you've done this before because I definitely don't think I've sent you anything yet. So if you want to be in for the packs, please hit ! Join. We are giving away 2 packs at the end of the stream. We're gonna hopefully get some nice hit like we just saw. Right now, we're gonna get to round 2 of this 4-round tournament and get ourselves up here with 2 new players, Wolf and Variable. It's a Luffy off, guys. It's a Luffy off. Thank you very much, Smile Hoodie. We got you in the wheel. We'll get you there at the break here. But right now, we've got a table with 2 amazing contenders and some fun decks. Stay tuned. Let's get in the deck list. Let's go over our Luffy off. All right, starting off with Monkey D, Luffy, Black, Yellow. Some of you guys will be like, really? Is this still a deck? It is. And guys, it's going to get even stronger. Even stronger coming this next set that's just now coming out. What just happened here? No. Sorry, my computer's acting funny. What? What is going on there? What happened to my picture? Interesting. That's weird. Even stronger definitely phrases the phrase here. Absolutely. The new PRB support that this deck is getting, absolutely outstanding. Really looking forward to seeing this deck in its glory here. Getting with new support with a set that's releasing this weekend, and Variable trying to get in some practice this weekend to try and see it get ready for the cards that he doesn't have access to yet, but needs to keep remembering the lines. This is a deck that definitely can confuse some people if you don't know what you're doing. This deck is a nice 4-life leader, but a deck that that got severely depowered with the banning of Gecko Moria. The trick of this thing is basically your kid to adult phase sacrifices here. The kids allow themselves to sacrifice themselves to play for free some of the more expensive adults usually from life here. If this wants to work here. I don't know what's going on with this website. But here, all of them have this. You may trash this character from the field. Reveal 1 card from the top of your life cards. If that card is Port Ace with a cost of 5, you may place that card into. You may play that card, excuse me, and from your life, and then your leader gets plus 2,000 power until your opponent's next turn. So the trick here, a lot of this deck will try to set up its life so it can kind of cheat out these in some early stages, but in reality here, it's trying to set up a point of this massive starvation strategy. You're trying to get this character up so every single turn it's ending with like a 9k base power. You got blockers for days. You're putting up pressure. It's a very grindy matchup that you're going up against your opponent here, trying to cheat out some of these nice little like Rocket Luffy that can kill some characters on play. You have this new Sabo here from OP12 that is a blocker if you have 3 or less life, and he gets plus 3 costs for anti-black. But you may add 1 card from the top of your life cards to your hand, draw 2 cards, and trash a card. This is the anti-starvation card that people need to be paying attention to, because one of the strategies people used with this deck was to starve it until you had 3 lethal swings. Get it to the point where it couldn't get down to 0 life, because once it gets down to 0 life, it's much easier for this thing to put characters in life that happen to share whatever one they're trying to sacrifice. Allows them to control the game in the tempo that they want. It allows them to constantly keep cycling these young kid combos to get yourself up here. Because why? Dawn times 2. You may trash 1 card from your hand. If you have 0 life, add up to 2 character cards that cost 5 costs less from your hand, or trash to the top of your life cards. So as soon as this gets to 0, as soon as it ends and starts this turn at 0 life, now it's able to start getting these kids, you basically get to get the kids or the adults back from the trash, play the kids, and then play them out for free, making your leader a nice little 9k for the turn. And swinging massive, big swings with some very, very effective 3 brothers here. You got the Rush Ace that has an on-play that if you have 2 or less life, this character has Rush. You have this Monkey Luffy. Activate main, this character gains plus 2,000 power until end of turn. Yeah, to your next turn. Then if you have one or more life cards, draw one card, trash one card from your top of your life cards. So nice little activate main ability to give this thing a nice little AK swing. You've a lot of extra power here, a lot of searching to get these early, get the young children together here to get things set up. Kozuki Hiyori able to set up some of the plays that they want to, or just prevent starvation. Got some nice little blockers here for the Sanji and the Sabo. Some good removal. Nice little to the ground. And some card that doesn't see enough here play. I haven't seen this one in a long time, but variable on this one. Look at the top 5 cards to your deck for one of the kids with 5 or less, which is basically half this deck. Then place the rest of the bottom of your deck. So nice little trigger. It also works in life, so you can get that nice little trigger to get some of the pieces you need to make this deck as consistent as possible, which is really necessary given that it doesn't have Gecko anymore. Gecko used to really hyperpower this deck, getting 2 from the yard from here and then getting the kids back with the Gecko ability. Just constant recursion, constant power. Grind house. This is a grindy deck. We might see this one coming up here against a deck that is arguably very fast, ramps fast, hits fast. A deck definitely Greg is very familiar with here. DeConquer says, I like the single black card in the deck. Yeah. Just this one little Sabo, which was actually really good. This used to be one of the cards to get until PRB 1. So this was one of the chase cards. This used to be like 60-70 bucks. Was a card that people didn't play this deck just because it was too expensive. But now we're into what I believe is a makeshift. I made sure all the cards in play are cards that you're going to see in this matchup. This is not a 1-for-1 for Wolf's deck. I didn't get his final copy yet, but this is a lot of what you're going to see in a red-purple deck here. A little bit different from what we saw from Greg, but this is Wolf's style. He likes to play a little more control. You're going to see some extra removal from the Ben Beckmans. Sanji's for controlling the blockers. This is just one of the best blockers, or anti-blocker cards out there. On play, you can take a Dawn back to your deck, and then get this card gets rushed, and you get to rest a character of cost 6 or less, which is just insane. Absolutely insane. Usually rest a blocker or just running into things, and it wants to get rid of some key pieces. So if you're like back in the day when you used to play blue, what was it? Blue Don Quixote Doflamingo, there were key pieces, and you'd be like, I'm going to rest that key piece and attack into it. Star Deck 21 and Star Deck 1 both had key pieces that they wanted to keep active. And it's like, no, I'm going to rest that and get over it. Also, a great answer against Buggy. Likes to keep a lot of their key pieces active to prevent them from being attacked. And Sanji would be like, nope, throwing into it, making you defend it. Good luck. So, for those who don't know, this is one of the oldest 6-cost leaders in the game, right next to Whitebeard, obviously. Whitebeard, blah, blah, blah. This is one of the other ones out there, but Whitebeard was 6 life, this one's 3. And it's really what's created the standard for 3 life leaders. If you have something like this base power being 6k, 3 life or reduction of life is going to be something pretty common as your power level equilibrium. So, a lot of cards like Kid Killer that benefit from this, or the Kikinojo that pays for it from life, or some of the other cards that really benefit from your having low life can take advantage of this being a 3 life leader. However, the staple 6k makes this a very strong deck. That's what we've seen with Blue Purple Luffy being a very strong deck at 3 life as well. This one being red, the OG. Red Purple Luffy here. Similar effects, similar capabilities, not near as strong with the extra draw in the late game, but does have some pretty powerful ramp up in the end game or late game when we get to the card. I'll talk to you about it. But it has the ability on 0, which means at the start of your turn, you do not start with 0. You start with whatever. But if you start with, if you have 0 Dawn, meaning you've reduced all the Dawn that you had using an ability, you can basically ramp out some extra Dawn here. And the card that I'm talking about that does that, Gear 10 here. Minus 10 Dawn. Place all the characters except this character to the bottom of your deck, and then you get an extra turn. This is a finisher of finisher, Gear 5th. When it first got spoiled, everyone was about it. This card was absolutely insane, still is today. Still is one of the best mangas you can possibly pull. Very, very good card, and it is a game ender. If played properly at the right sequence, you should know when you're going to be able to remove the Dawn, get a big swing from lead, get this and lead swing to close the game in your favor. But you got to be the player that understands the end game sequencing to know when it is the appropriate time to play this. Don't want to play too many because there's no counter in here. Very dangerous in hand. But once you know that turn's yours, game. 6k leaders pay from 4k counters. This is what I'm talking about. You have first the Gum Gum Giant, which is arguably one of the best defensive cards in the game. Dawn -2, trash a card from your hand. You get your plus 4,000 counter, and you draw 2. And you draw 2. Absolutely insane. make this thing a 10k for the turn. Absolutely disgusting. They've wanted to ban this card forever, but you also have this nice little 4k. So when your life is low, I mean, you've taken one hit, just one hit in this deck, Radical Beam is now live, and you get yourself a 1 cost 4k counter to put this leader up to 10k. Very hard for most decks to be able to fight into that and fight and get that life. We have some cool tech cards here. It's to die for. It has a main, says add up to 1 Dawn for your Dawn deck to it as active. Then if your opponent has a character with 6,000 power or more, add up to 1 Dawn card from your Dawn deck since that is active. So nice little 3 cost ramp here. Goes along with the Zoro Juro that can only be in this deck really because your life has to be at 3, which is not easy in the early game. So, and ramping in the early games is where you want it. So this Zoro really just made for this Luffy. You got yourself the Bonclay, which is getting a reprint in PRB2. Super excited because this one is an absolute staple in these type of decks, especially the blue purple and the red purple. Getting the on play to add a active Dawn to your Dawn deck and on play, and the ability to basically copy whatever power your opponent has and swing with this. It's only ever going to get one swing, but it is still kind of threatening when your opponent starts playing these big high cost characters. We got the best Tony Chopper out there. Looking happy in his little blocker state, being a 6k blocker in your opponent's turn. 4 cost, 2k, everything you want. Queen, it's a blocker cycler. -1 Dawn, you draw 2 cards and discard a card. Very, very good. Good stats, 6k. You got Sanji, Raid Suit. Since you're minusing, you could probably cheat this guy out for cheap. You got Ben Beckman for some removal. It's one of the keywords, one of the few cards out there that say trash, which is something most cards do not protect against. Most protect against KO and whatnot. You've got the Useless Kid, which is an absolute like staple in this deck. It's so good. It combos and synergizes with this deck so well here. But down -1, up to one of your leaders gets plus 1,000 power till the end of your opponent's next turn. So just on play when attacking, constantly keep your leader at 7k. A mass of an 8k attack here. Just really, really good. And especially when you can just get that Dawn back in the late stages anyways. Minus it, get it back. Minus it, get it back. Doesn't matter. 9 cost Rush Monkey D. Luffy here. On play, you get to return 1 of your Dawn cards to your field to your Dawn deck, up to. Draw 1 card, and then this character gains Rush. So you get a nice little draw, 10k Rush, big endgame closer, keeping it 9, which is very important for this deck because remember, you want to have that 1 open in the late game to make sure you get yourself that capability of countering out of those big swings. And of course, the mistaken purple card that seems to be played in so many of the wrong decks. Got banned from blue purple, now going to be played in red purple. This one absolutely disgusting. On play, -1 Dawn, trash 1 card from your hand. Add up to 1 card from the top of your deck to your opponent's life. I'm sorry. Top of your deck to the top of your life cards. Then add up to 1 of your opponent's characters that cost 6 or less to the top or bottom of your opponent's life face up. Optional here for the adding. Gets a blocker out of the way, but also life gain, which is absolutely essential in these 3 life leaders. Gameplay is right now, Xeon. Thank you for the comment. Right now. Appreciate it. By the way, hit !join for your opportunity to win one of these 2 packs we're giving away at the end of the stream. Every time I go live, I give away free packs for the IP that I happen to be covering. Today is One Piece Day, so I got OP12. I give away community box. There are 2 hits left in this box, guaranteed to go out to one of you out there in the chat line. We pulled the Altart Rayleigh. That means we're guaranteed 2 more hits. Could be the secret rare Kuma. Could be an Altart. Could be insane or anything. I can't wait. But we're giving away 2 packs in the stream. Thanks for the comment. All right, Variable Wolf getting through. I'm so invested in this match. All right, good to hear. Variable definitely testing out an underpowered deck at this time, but I got to give a lot of respect to Variable here. He wants to learn these decks, so he's going to take the time even when it's not at its perfect optimal build state. Still give it the time and focus to get the practice in to learn this deck and get ready for the cards that he's really looking forward to seeing in PRB. We'll see if Wolf, who has been around since the deck's inception, so should know the strategy about trying to make sure you starve it until you can go for game. But at the same time, this being red purple Luffy is all about ramp rush. Want to start putting a lot of pressure against your opponent, start hitting big and getting up to the 10 Dawn as soon as possible. All right, cut for Wolf here. Gonna see if he wants to keep his hand. Variable happy with his. Below the ground looked kind of good. All right, so 3 life here. Gonna find out who goes first here in a minute. Looks like Variable's gonna start with a 1 and has a one drop play. Garp gonna look for one of the kids. We'll see who starts off with. Goes with Sabo adult, which indicates he probably has a Sabo kid. Wanted to make that pairing as quick as possible. I can see Monkey D. Luffy off the top. I think I saw a Sabo. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I saw a kid Sabo there. Getting some of the pieces. All right, Wolf gonna follow it back with his own searcher, Nami. Look at the top 5 for a Straw Hat. Got 2 Gum Gum Giants, look like beautiful targets. Yep, that's one of them. You see 2 in the top 5, you're gonna want to grab one now. Definitely don't want to bottom 2 of your best defense card. So 2 in that, definitely the right choice. Little Pound Cake says, y'all see the Finance Bros hit One Piece finally? Overall buyout of mangas? Yeah, I did see that. Yeah, I've been seeing the TikToks at least that they've been talking about it. Mangas are they're the cards, man. They're the cards. Your investment bros here. 8K swing. Wolf gonna take that hit. Gonna follow it up with his own play here. Bonclay getting an extra ramp. 6 into life. Variable on the take. Leaving 1 open. Wolf indicating he likely has a Radical Beam. We already know he has himself a Gum Gum Giant, but there it is, Radical Beam off the top. 2K counters from the what's his name? What is his name? The Usopp's 2K counter. Of course, does have a key piece with that useless kid in hand too. And Butt Law still under 1K. Says Little Pound Cake. Yeah. That one and Rayleigh are kind of like disappointing. I like Rayleigh. I think it's a very powerful card, but those two just not getting the love they deserve. Hoping Rayleigh goes up with the current issues of the manga. All right. Getting the Garp search here. Looking for Rocket Luffy. Pairs up really nicely with the Kid Luffy he has in hand. 4 open. Could start setting up some gameplays here. Does need to get some of the life manipulators to make sure that he can put the appropriate kid to adult combo in life so he can activate the ability. Starting off, oh, okay, gonna get it with a market special here. 3, nice little 3 underneath. Now remembering it's a 6K leader. So that one not gonna be quite it. Nope, just gonna go full swing 9. And there's a 10K from Wolf. Nice turn here. Variable, unfortunately, would have had to basically, it's one or the other. Either get the Garp to swing or the leader to swing, given the amount of Dawn he had left. And didn't look like he wanted to kind of add to the board any of the kids here. Either respecting the Sanji or respecting some of the plays and not trying to put out anything of decent value. So Bonclay really can only copy a 2K swing. So Bonclay not going to be a threat on this turn for swinging. Nami, however, could get the allocation, depending on how Wolf wants to play it. But seeing his hand, likely going to see a Queen blocker out here, just to advance the board state. It is -1 Dawn, but it is a nice little hand fixer. And nice for this even curve for Wolf here. Gets to leave 1 open for the Gum Gum Giant we know he still has. At least 1. I think we know he has 2 now after that search. So definitely walled up here as Wolf. Gonna tap all 6 though. Rocket, okay, no, gonna go for 7, excuse me. -1, gonna give the +1000, so we have 7K for the turn. Uses Kid now online, one of the key pieces here. Ooh, got a nice little Monkey Luffy out of there. Rush Luffy out there. Shields a little bit down here, but 7K static for this leader with the Uses Kid effect. Variable with an absolute fat hand. I'm wondering Wolf is going to leave him at here at 2 until he can go for lethal. Looks like we're going to see some plays here. Putting 5 and 2 aside here. 6 and 2. Variable. It's a 5 and 2. He keeps ramping and throws it off. It's 5 and 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. 5 and 2. Sorry, Wolf's throwing me off with all the ramping. I can't keep track of the even and odd dons with all that ramp. But putting 5 aside, looking like he was going to play an adult. 3, 2, 2, setting up here, Curly. That's kind of like what we're talking about. Like you can kind of set your mental math here. Setting the stacks up. Sometimes you can mess with your opponent if they think that that's the way you're going to attack. Nope. Are we gonna go just full swing here? Is Variable just going full swing? Just like I'm gonna rush you down. No blocker here for Wolf, so kind of an easy rush down. Here comes Sabo. This one gonna take a life. Allow him to draw 2. Discard 1. Still doesn't know what that last life is, so he can't kid combo yet. Here comes Perona. Perona gonna take a life and should replace it if I remember correctly. No, take a life and draw. Interesting. Okay. Okay. Interesting play here from Variable. I don't know if I would have gone to 0 just yet. I mean, yeah, he gets to get the Sabo back into life here with the discard. Gonna search. Unfortunately, if I remember correctly, these don't go to trash. They go to the bottom of the deck. So, getting the Kid Sabo from the search. He can now use leader ability to discard to put Sabo in life. Oh, not doing that either. Wants to protect it for the turn. There's going to be a massive defensive turn here for Variable. Wolf does have the opportunity to go in 18. But, of course, he does have the blocker with Sabo here. Yeah. We got 6K copy from Bonclave, so Bonclave can swing 6. We got 8K from Uses Kid and Leader. Don't forget about that. We have at least 7K, given if he wants to minus the Dawn, then he'll just get back. If Wolf hasn't already used Leader ability. Wolf looking at a lot of options here. Could go with the Big Mom here. Put the blocker into life. Kind of slow him down a bit. Would make the swings a little bit less, so not really a guarantee, especially this how fat Variable's hand is. I imagine he should be able to counter out of any swing here. But this is a turn where Variable's deck really starts to turn a leg and starts to do exactly what it's designed to do. It's looking like Wolf leaning towards... Hasn't activated leader ability as far as I can track here. Lean towards maybe a blocker here. Yep, here comes the Queen blocker. Gonna -1. Draw 2, discard. Just making sure that it's draw 2, not discard first. Gets another Useless Kid. Yep, get rid of that no counter out of hand. Good choice here. Just leaving him with 3 Dawn left here for the turn. Debatable if he really wants to attack his opponent, because it's just going to help him fill the yard. And notably, Variable only has 1 target in the yard for his leader ability. So you want to be careful here. Gonna ramp here, using last 3. Gets 2 Dawn off from that. And of course, I think that's leader ability to get the last one here. Kind of restand. So copying the 6, this is 7K into life. Asking for 2 cards or rested Sabo in 2K. I'm gonna get 2 cards. And now Variable with another target in here. This one gonna bump his leader up to 7K. But nice 9K swing. Variable looking to block potentially. Does have to be considerate of the Wolf's attack here, but gonna use a blocker. All right, Wolf attacking for 7. And Hiyori. Zeus. Doubled out. Excellent. Good turn here for Variable. Especially being able to put some targets in the yard. Now has absolute targets. Full, what looks like 8 Dawn here, if not 10. For Variable. Does have the Kid combos in hand, so he does have the ability to activate leader ability, discard, get the Sabo and the Luffy back in. Definitely want to sequence that one right. Gonna do another search. Top 5, make sure he's got enough for plays. But this is gonna leave Variable with a 9K leader attack swing here. So definitely in the more dangerous zone is Variable. Now able to put off some cards and now getting a Port Gusty Ace. I mean, he can go for Rocket Luffy and Rush Ace if he wants to. Remember, the sack effects can come from hand, too. Options are now endless. All three brothers accessible that we know of, 4 variable, guaranteeing an opportunity to start adding to the board here, getting this leader a plus 2k for everything he sacks for these kids. Plenty of kids. We've seen them in hand. Interesting. Okay, yep, adding the 2 here. Going to activate the leader ability, discarding the Port Gastier so we can get it for free out of the yard. Here comes Ace and likely Rocket Luffy. Nope, we're going to go for Sabo. Gonna tap 2 more. Get him out the Kid Ace. Sacrificing, gets his leader plus 2k for the turn, and gets that Rush Ace out. As an opportunity to go for the Sabo that we know he has. Tapping 2, looks like that's gonna be the play. Kid Sabo coming out to sacrifice, absolutely immediately sacrifices it, get the Sabo into play. Good sequencing, good stack here, make sure he doesn't take any life. It is a bold effect, so he must take a life if he wants to get the draw, but does have himself a blocker out. So not able to activate the on play here, but it's exactly the way you want to sequence this one. Now leading Luffy up to, right now, 11k body here. Rush A, 7k going into Kid. Was it 9 to 8? I must have read that wrong. I guess it's a 9 to 8 here. Now a big 11 going into Kid, asking for a block. If I'm Wolf, I block here. Wolf just doing the math here. Each one gives him plus 2. Each kid gives him plus 2k, plus the 2k underneath it. It is 11k. Honestly, if I'm Wolf here, I definitely give him the block. Don't overvalue the kid. Don't undervalue the kid, I'm sorry. You want to have those attackers. No, I'm going to give him the Gum Gum. All right. Give him the Gum Gum. Discard. Is he discarding the Usahachi? Am I missing something? I'm thinking, oh no, he used the Usahachi to defend the ace attack here. So -2 Dawn. Discarding the Linlin. Gonna draw 2. Still needs to give him additional 2k. No, I'm sorry, that he did it to, I think he attacked board. Yeah, that is enough to protect Usa's kid. All right, get the Dawn immediately back here. At 10 Dawn here, we got what looks like Rush Luffy, Ben Beckman, another ramp card that's going to be kind of irrelevant here. Wolf resacking up here. Needs to figure out how he's going to navigate this. He's got 9k body. Needs to fight through this 9k body, and he has a blocker. Ismail says, with this board state, using Giant is better in my opinion. Queen can now be used as offense to close the game. That's a fair point. That is a fair point, Greg. I didn't even take that into consideration. Given there is a limited hand now variable having to finally play some resources from hand, the math is a little bit easier. It's hard to climb to 9, but at 6 cards, it's a lot easier than your opponent saying, I got 10 cards in hand. It's like, oh man, what's the math with that? It's like, that's so much counter. It's too much unknown. It's way too much unknown. Usohachi gonna be the answer to wrestle blocker. Ooh boy, this could be it. This could be the turn. 3 Dawn, 7 open. Just as it's the mole predicted, using this as an attacker. Wait, is it not enough? Is it too high? What's the discussion here? Usahachi on play. If you have 8 or more Dawn cards in your field, rest up to one of your opponent's characters will cost 5 or less. Oh, I think that one gets a plus, doesn't it? Add 1 card to the top of your life card, trust your hand. If you have 3 or less life cards, this card gains blocker and +3 cost. And +3 cost. No. No. Yeah, Wolf just as shocked as I am. I'm like, what? Wait a minute. I thought that was anti-black. What do you mean it's anti-purple? What are you doing? What? That's supposed to be an anti-black effect. What's going on? Oof is deed. Variable being the nice guy, allow him to take it back though. In the top level seeds, you're not gonna have that opportunity when you get to the top 8, but really nice of variable, allow him to take that back. I'm indifferent. I don't care if you do or don't. Personally, and I'm one of those guys that's just like, why bother, guys? Why? Like, just if you make the mistake, learn from the mistake. If you, like, personally, that's what I do, and I don't care if you do. I'm not shaming you if you do it the other way around. But I'm never gonna learn unless I really know I screwed up. And when I screw up like that, I just take it. I take the error. I'm done. That's fine. I need to learn my lesson. For the 8 cost character stuff, yeah. The Sabo synergizes with Koala. That's right. So it's additional, not just to anti-black reduction, cost reduction for the kill, but also very synergistic for the new Koala deck. That's where we got it, OP12, so makes sense. 8K coming in to try to kill this Portgasti Ace, because definitely can't swing on leader at 9. All right, gets 2 cards out of hand. Variable running lower on life here. Variable is going to be able to put his leader potentially back up to 9K, depending on what's in his hand. But I'm thinking Variable's got to realize that he's running out of turns. And Wolf's board pretty aggressive. Yeah, honestly, this one I have not seen it see play yet either. It was the first time with this one. I think it's a decent addition. It's definitely good for anti-starvation in these decks, so good on you, Variable, for recognizing that some people like to starve until they want to go for game. Trying to make sure that the Luffy doesn't get this activated ability. Once you get it down to 0, really hard to come back against this deck. But Variable here now needs to have the pairings. He's going to be able to discard, put you underneath the leader, discard, get Rocket Luffy or the blocker Sabo. Both, obviously, is an option. Could go Rocket Luffy, could go blocker, blocker. If he has the correlating kids to actually make that happen. And it looks like it's what he's trying to stack up ahead. 2 for leader, 2 for each of the kids, leaving himself 4 Dawn allocation for attacks. Does have to attack into a 7K leader. It doesn't look like there's any Dawn left for Wolf, so Gum Gum Giant not going to be the play here. Doesn't look like he has it at all either. Here comes 2 underneath there for the leader ability. Discarding. Thinking about it. This is going to empty his hand. It's going to make the swings a lot easier. Got to be careful here. Kid Luffy here is a discard here. Yep, getting Rocket Luffy and the Sabo blocker. I mean, he likely has another Kid Luffy and a Kid Sabo. But doing that's going to leave him with 1 card in hand. And mind you, even if he was to leave those in life, those don't go to hand. They go to the bottom of the deck. So here comes the first. Rocket Luffy. Gonna kill the Nami? Well, not sure if I like that play. Nami's got to use a lot of Dawn. I don't think I'm a fan of that play. I'm not, personally not a fan. Nami needs, when your leader's at 9K, that's a lot of Dawn allocation just to get a Nami swing in. But, all right. Looks like we got the leader here at 11K again. 4 left underneath this. Looks like we're going to get 2 11K swings possibly. And likely going to go after this useless kid, at least one of these attacks. 9. Into the useless kid. Wolf defends with Usahachi. 11 left for the attack from the leader here. Does have the opportunity to block with Queen if he wants to, or leave it offensively like Greg suggested. But here comes 11. Likely going at the useless kid. Wolf confirming. Debating on it, and he is going to use block to keep it alive. I like that choice. I like that choice a lot. 10 Dawn going to be on the turn here. We got a blocker out. Is that Viola a blocker? Forgot to read her. Is she a blocker? She is a blocker. All right, on play, choose one. Look at all the cards in your opponent's life cards and place them back in the life area in any order. So at least it's going to be able to have the knowledge of the 2 cards. But he's now got 2 blockers for a 3 attack swing into a 9K leader, 1 card in hand. Wolf has to predict that is a 2K in hand. So basically has to play around a 2K. 11k swings. He needs to do the math. Can he do 11k 3 times? That's all it takes. 11k 3 times. 5 for leader, 3 for kid. No, I'm sorry, 4 for leader, 3 for kid. That's 7, and 4 for Ben Beckman. All Don allocation. I'm sorry, he has to -1. That's right. No, he has to -1 to get that +1k. But he could just ramp it back up. What am I talking about? He can just ramp back up with Luffy. So there's your math. Go 11, -1, return it back with Luffy. Leader ability. Go 4 and 4. Am I doing the math right? No, it's too many. 4, 4, that's too many. No, I did the math wrong again. He definitely needs to just do 11, 11, 11. That's what I'm saying. That'll get the attack in here, but I think he's just shy 1 Dawn on that potential. Chain Low, good to see you. This is like OP08. It really feels like that load. Well, thanks for the exclamation point join. This is like flashbacks, man. This deck's gonna see a lot. Lord, pay attention to this deck. After PRB, this deck's gonna be seeing some locals here. It's definitely gets a good upgrade. Definitely gets a really good upgrade in PRB. Oh, the black yellow Luffy. I think red purple's always just good, but yeah, black yellow Luffy is what I'm talking about. Gets a huge upgrade. Right now, variable. We're just doing some math in our head, trying to figure out how we would navigate this. Right now, at 9k, you need 3 swings for 11, and I did the math wrong, and I said it was easy to do. Because you of course swing 11 here. Ooh, going for the rush. Okay. Going for the rush. Interesting. Gonna go for an extra draw card here. I think this is gonna be a defensive play from Wolf here. Couldn't secure 3 9k swings, so he's playing defensively. Or 11k swings. Here comes 9. Going into life like they asked him for a blocker. Gets the 2k. Alright. So with only 2 realistic attacks left here. Yep. That one gonna get rid of it. Not a lot of plays here, so this one gonna be an attack from Rush Luffy, likely into life to get a blocker out of the way. There goes Viola. Not gonna be able to attack with leader. And it's just gonna have to pass back the turn. But at 2 life, 3 bodies, variable with a blocker. And 1 card. Definitely not a good position. Variable does have the optional. Put all the Dawn underneath it, get 2 life. That will not go to hand. It will go to the bottom of the deck if hit. But it'll give him 2 life. But he is going to be at 5. And very hard to defend. So we do have... Remember, 9k leader, 2k, 2 blockers. Absolutely. No, I definitely understood that you had to swing 11, 11, 11 to guarantee hits. So this just seems like was the insurance play, Wolf. I think if anything, he played for the guarantee versus the potential of a loss. Which now that we know it was a Zeus, if you would have attacked him my way, you would have lost. Technically, I don't know if he would have lost because he would have left him with no board and a 15k swing in a life. Like I don't know if you lost, but you definitely would not have won. That I'll tell you that. Had you gone the route that I suggested, you would not have won. All right, this is a do or die moment here. Variable realizes it. Swinging 7. Doesn't remember it's a 7. Gets a +1k from the useless kid. Math is a lot harder. Variable, he's playing your game. He left the leader at this ridiculous height. The math is a lot harder. This is why you should have kept the Rocket Luffy out. Killing the Nami was useless. This Perona does nothing but take up space. It's a beautiful card, don't get me wrong, but it just takes up space. Right? So much harder for the math here to get these... Curly, that's what we do here. We're playing One Piece. What'd you expect? The non-math channel? This is One Piece TCG. It's all about the math. Oh, bro. Variable is just not in a good position. Can't afford to attack with this blocker. Needs to get 3 hits through. His leader is 7, and he has a 1k and a 2k body to add Dawn to. There's not enough Dawn in the world to get these swings in. Let alone has one open Dawn against Wolf with 1 card in hand. I just don't see how Variable gets out of here. Wolf solidly locked it down. And good somewhat at math. I'm bad at English but good at math. Yeah, right? I understand that completely. Watch for my typos. There we go. 7. If I'm Variable, I don't know what I'm doing here. I don't feel like there's a winning line. Yeah, put the dice there to remind him it's a 7k from the useless kit effect. Get a body off the field, but everything on this board is 7k and up. Everything. So even going board isn't a great strategy here. Like, he can use the 2 to get 2 life back, but I don't think that's going to be enough, and neither of those cards are going to come to hand. And it just gives the okay. What is that? 9k? 9k into what? Is it going to life? Gets a 2 and a 1? Ugh, insult to injury. Alright, here comes 8k into life. I think Variable is just really throwing out the flag here, guys. 8k into 7k, asking for 2. If I'm Wolf, I just take. Just take it. Unless he's going board. Even then, I don't really care. No, he's gonna gum giant to add more salt to the wound. He did have the open Dawn. Why not? Why not? With this leader, he's gonna get all 3 Dawn back anyways. 2 for the turn, 1 for the leader effect. Discards last card to put 2 in life. No cards in hand. Variable. Easy math. Swing, swing, swing. He doesn't even need to add Dawn. Doesn't even need to add Dawn. Just use the leader ability, get the last Dawn. Swing, swing, swing. Absolutely easy math here for Wolf because he did such a good job of making sure he navigated that turn. Knew he could defend it. Has still 2 life left. He's only taken 1 real hit. Look at the cards, but I hope he remembers that those cards do not go to hand. They go to the bottom of the deck. So, no math necessary here. Wolf should be closing the game out here. Looking for any outs. Here comes 6. Does he get the block? He gets a life. Goes bottom of the deck. If he didn't know, he knows now. 7. Here's a block. Here comes 7. 8. Bottom of life. And 10k swing should do it. That's gonna do it. Wolf for the round 2 win. And the bounty pack. Do we get to the bounty pack? Yes, we do. Bounty pack for Wolf here. Let's see if he walks out. We already had 1 alt. Can we do 2? Can we do 2? Let's go. Variable. All right. Wolf for this first bounty pack of the day. Let's see if we can win another one. Senamaru, Inuyasha, Trafalgar. All right. Yeah, that's a good one. Oval, Edward Newgate. Oh, that was a really nice, a very good card. And even an uncommon. Hey! SR Dracula Mihawk. That's a keep. That's a hit. Not big money, but still great utility. Everyone's looking for that card. We're giving off the hits, even if it isn't money. I love it. Congratulations, Wolf, on the win. Variable, well put up there. It came down the line. You just, and I still have to say, massive respect for Variable out there. Practicing the deck to keep trying to get good until the actual cards that make this deck even better come out. So I recommend this to anybody. You've got to get the reps in. You got to get the practice in. It may not be at its optimal form, especially not anymore after Gecko was banned. But it's still a deck you should be looking for and on your radar coming after PRBs. As soon as this thing PRB comes out, look for this to be in your local area and be prepared for it. It's going to be a crazy day. I can't wait. But right now, this weekend, we got what PRB release weekend. So we'll have some PRB fun on Saturday. Or I'm sorry, some One Piece fun on Saturday. We got PRB this Friday. We're looking forward to it. I just can't wait to get my hands on this product. It's a really good set. I digress. Guys, that's going to do it for rounds 1 and 2. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, rounds 3 and 4, and of course, our pack giveaway. So, Stay tuned. We got more content coming your way, more fun stuff. Don't forget to hit exclamation point join if you haven't done so already to get your chance to win one of these 2 packs with a guarantee 2 hits left in this box. Is it these 2 packs? We don't know. We're going to find out at the end of the stream. But in this box, 2 hits left. And it could be yours tonight at the end of the stream. Tune in and find out. Let's find out. But for now, we're going to take a break. We'll be right back.
Cruising highways longer, further. Living life is supposed to be. Red lights never seem to stop us. Trapped in shackles, yet we're free. I tried to limit my restrictions. But you I never found out what was needed. Life is always bittersweet. I've traveled through this world a million times before, and every path I cross I know what lies in store. And even though I know my heart is on repeat, life is always bittersweet. One for forgiveness. I always try to pull my weight. They say the other side is greener. I'm pretty sure I won't be late. I play my cards as I'm supposed to, yet all I do is bluff and cheat. Better save my thoughts for later. Life is always bittersweet. I've traveled through this world a million times before, and every path I cross I know what lies in store. And even though I know my heart is on repeat, life is always bittersweet.
don't believe so. I believe it went to the end of the video. But welcome back to Humbro Pie. I'm your host, Jimmy D. And we're ready for the last 2 rounds. Now, I did a video playing. I thought, no, you're still moving. It just, you guys were displaying what you guys had won on here. So don't, oh wait, did the stream crash? No, we're back. We're good. Yep, just checked my other thing. Looks like we're live. Good to go. I had to start thinking that maybe it did crash because I forgot about the time delay. So my monitor that shows the stream is up. It still seems up. So you guys seeing something different, please let me know. All right, we're going to get ourselves into the last 2 games of the night. It's going to be fun, guys. We got some great decks here. You got to see the red, purple, Luffy deck throwing in some massive power this late in the game, and it's still been a competitive deck. Something Greg has won 2 mangas with red, purple, Luffy. Now Wolf saying, I still think it's good in this format, and it is very good. It has a lot of great answers, a lot of great power. It has not been power crept out. I think when it comes to these 6K leaders and bodies, absolutely going to be good. Not yet, man, not yet. All right, that's good. That's good. Glad to hear it. So we got ourselves 2 more games left. We're going to find out who our opponents are, what the decks look like. I believe Porter is making his debut back on camera here against Wolf in round 3. So Porter, one of our contenders, that's leading up to the top leaderboard right now, trying to solidify himself as a double contender, back-to-back championship wins, wants to match James K in that competitive edge here because he's been doing pretty well here in the locals here. Definitely a fantastic player. Has been still harping on that Trafalgar Law deck, which he's not willing to give up with, and I don't blame him because there's some great matchups in this current meta with that deck. It is definitely off meta. For those out there that know what the meta looks like, Trafalgar Law, not one of the favorites, but still a very, very good deck. And we're going to find out why in just a minute after we get back in to find out all the cards that we know about that Wolf is playing and the deck list that I got from Porter here. 2 players head to head. We saw one of the decks dominate last round. We're going to see, can he do it again? And Porter's saying, no, I want the championship money. I want the championship prize, and I want those points. I want to be top of the leaderboard. But can he do it? He's got to fight through Wolf first. Let's find out. Starting off with Wolf's deck list here. We just saw it online. Again, not a perfect one-for-one. I might be missing some cards here. Playing on what I saw in the matchups here and putting in what I think in the fillers, so the stuff that I didn't see. So we're starting off with a Nami Searcher, obviously, because you got to have Searchers. Everything in every single Luffy deck, every single deck right now in the One Piece TCG relies heavily on getting these Searchers, making sure you see the right pieces at the right time. Now, one of the key pieces of this deck being that Uses Kid, we saw it putting a lot of work last time. Don -1, giving the leader plus 1k to the opponent's next turn. Very, very good and synergistic with this. The leader, if you guys haven't noticed about this one, it's a very unique skill here that says if you have 0 Dawn cards on your field or 8 or more, you can add 1 Dawn from your Dawn deck and set it as active. So you get an active Dawn for this. Does this trigger on turn 1? No, it does not. It does not trigger on turn 1 because on turn 1 you start with 1 or 2 out, so you cannot activate this out the gate. What this does is in the late game ensures that minus doesn't matter. You can get the Dawn back. Everything you minus for 1, it doesn't matter. Or if you want to get up there to make sure you get up to 10 faster, that's your case to be able to get up to ramp up to 10 faster. The 0 is relevant because of a closer card that may be one of in the deck. I love this card very much so. This minusing 10 Dawn, destroying all the characters except for this card, putting them at the bottom of your deck anyways, and you get to attack, you get an extra turn, something that only this card does. Only card I know to date in OPTCG giving you an extra turn. So if you see this card, he's going for game. That's what the game plan is anyways. You want to make sure that you have everything ready for this 12k swing to come in next turn and try and finish it. Of course, you do have leader swing. You have the leader ability. And this is why it's only really run in this deck, is because it is one of the few decks that can recover from such a devastating loss of losing 10 whole Dawn. Capable of getting 4 back by the next turn with the combo of this ability and leader ability. So trying to get up to about 4 Dawn active here to get a 10 and a 12 swing. Essentially the revised deck list. Oh, thank you. Sorry, I wouldn't focus on that. Trying to dox you. Let's get you over here. Don't want to dox you. Sorry about that. Let's get the revised deck list, so it does matter. It does matter here. And turns out it was pretty close here. Pretty close. Like that. I like that. So did have a Searcher. Had the Usahachis, so one of the best 2k counters out there because you can also rest blockers 5 costs or less. Hey, no thing. Thank you very much. Not actually running the 10 cost Luffy. Yeah, I noticed that. I was just talking about my favorite card here, and I was like, oh, Shanks. Shanks is a 10 cost spot, which is a good card. It's a very, very good card. This card is still good in this meta today. Having the ability to, not only with Rush and 12k body, but minusing 1k to all of your opponent's characters, and it stacks. So if you got 2 out, minus 2k, and it's constant, guys. While this is on the field, all of their characters are minus 1k. Really making it hard into a leader that can usually be, as we saw, 6 or even 7 with the key piece of Eustace Kid here. So making yourself a 7k leader and reducing all their attack by 1, the math just gets harder in this deck here. Playing 3 copies of Linlin to heal life, or take care of the block or take care of the blockers. You got the 4 of on this rush, and I like this. A lot of the heavy on the 9s and 8s here is really good because he's playing into 2 of the radical beams and all 4 of the Gum Gum Giants, making sure that he always has one open for that massive 10 to 11k body swing protection. Absolutely disgusting. It's to die for at 2 to have for the ramping here, and lead performer disaster, draw a card out to 1 Dawn from your Dawn deck instead of his active. So you got 2 of these cards here that help you ramp. Looks like he took this card over the Ronor Zoro that we saw in the last list, saying I don't want to rely on attack swing, I just want to get the ramp. And how does it get a reliable ramp here? 1, 2, and 3. Get it out here with Bonclay. Thankfully getting a PRB reprint. Really super excited about that. But absolutely relying on guaranteeing this. None of this I have to attack, have to blah, blah, blah. Be a 3 life nonsense and make sure I get it on curve. This one can be relevant any turn where Zoro Juro really relevant in the early games, and sometimes in rare occasions good on the late game. If it's still alive. Blocker Sanji here, or Reitsu Sanji blocker here. Mostly lead performer is for the active main trigger. Yep. So drawing a card, replace itself, activate. There you go. Yep, just trying to make sure that he's getting that ramp out there, guaranteeing it. We got the awesome resting Rush Sanji. Love this card. Excellent answer to blockers, especially when you're trying to go for game. This thing has closed out more games than I can count since it's printing and inception, so very, very careful with this. 4 of on the Ben Beckman, really good choice. I like this. Ben Beckman, not searchable, but still very good because it has that the ability to remove trashing, not KOing, trashing, which is a keyword not found on very many cards in the set. So a lot of cards that kind of like negate the KO abilities or negate other type of abilities. This one does squeak around them. Less relevant in the upcoming Emu type of format they're going to be in here, but definitely a very good card, and has been since it's printing. I think most cards kind of like power creep in the way into, if it's to be removed by any means, do this, where a lot of cards are KO specific. We got a Queen blocker, always been good. Honestly, this is the only deck I've ever seen it be really good in. It's always seemed to be a staple. Used to be a heavily expensive card back in the day before PRB printed this thing to the ground, which I'm thankful for because this was a starter deck lock card. And I hate starter deck lock cards, especially when you can't get access to these starter decks. Getting a little old for these starter decks. No, not a whole lot of value in those old starter decks right now. Trust me, I got them in the back. Purple Donkey says, I'm biggest fan. All right, you got a fan out there, Chain Low. Good to hear. I got a fangirls here. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. Purple Donkeys. Congratulations, J-Lo. Building your fan base, man. I'm getting a little jelly. All right, getting over to the other deck list. This one is accurate as I can get. I don't think he's made any changes. Using the last one he gave me. Trafalgar Law. What's this one doing? A lot of room type effects here. A lot of bouncing, a lot of abusing life. Really trying to ramp out to these low level fat boards that this deck does so well here. And the total cost of characters is 5 or more on your board. Return up to 1 character you own to your hand. Reveal the top card of your life card. If it's Supernova type, of 5 or less, and you may play that card. So basically, taking that 1 Dawn here, bouncing one of these searchers. God, there's so many searchers in this deck. So many searchers. You have Capone Bays that searches. You've got Monkey D. Luffy that searches. You got Perona that searches. You got the Kid Killer, which is one of the optimal ones you want to have in the early games, especially if you're going even math here, that searches. You're getting a lot of like, I'm going to get the pieces I need. I need to get the pieces I need. And what pieces are you looking for? Pieces like the absolute backbreaking must-have for this deck is Cavendish. Good in Zoro, must-have in Zoro, must-have in this deck. You need to see this early game. You must see it quickly if you want to get underneath a lot of these faster decks. So it's going to be one of the key cards he's going to try and pull from life if possible by stacking it however way he might want to, or trying to work his math to making sure that he gets this out as quick as possible. Does have some other answers like Blocker Law, You've got the Bounce Law out here. This one, a really old one from Star Deco 2. Sorry, this is a Restand Law. Restand Law here allows you, when on play, to restand another attack. This one can surprise kill opponents. I've seen it do it before. Bounce Law is out of the deck. Oh, wait. Or is this Bounce Law with blocker? You may... Yeah, this is Bounce Law. I'm sorry. Bounce Law and blocker here. You get to restand. Of course, what green deck would be a green deck without Hody Jones? This man has made himself and squeezed himself in anything that has green. Rush, add life to your hand, and you get to rest 2. This card was so good, they turned it into an event card without the loss of life here, which he's not playing. But very good event card. Being able to rest 2 Dawn or 2 characters, or one of each, is super powerful in this game, especially when you're having to fight against those Gum Giants, those Radical Beams, and those blockers, that nasty blockers that Wolf is going to be throwing up here. So this is going to be a key card for this matchup. Also has 2 copies of Trafalgar Law to help out with the healing, making sure you can survive the game, and get in some Rested Dawn for some extra power, but definitely wants to make sure he can keep in the game, especially since his ability takes a lot from life here. And of course, if necessary, he can lock himself down with Use's Kid, trying to use this as a nice little wall for a couple turns to survive while he goes on the offense with his Cavendish and tries his best to keep this Cavendish alive. Protection cards like Tashigi out here and the Capone Beige allow you to try and protect it as much as possible for many of those removal effects. Very, very solid deck. A lot of bouncing, a lot of searching, a lot of hand advantage with all this searching. We'll see if this one pays off. We got ourselves head-to-head between these 2 titans of the industry. Wolf on red, purple Luffy, and our boy and top leaderboard Porter on his favorite Trafalgar Law. All right, die roll to determine who goes first. Get all the shuffling here. Opponent slicer out 4 and 3. Starting off with exactly how Porter wants to on the start to get one of the searchers going. Perona top 5, looking for Slash. A lot of good targets in this deck. Ooh, and a whiff. Not the only card in his deck. He told me that whiffs. Only card, and that is not good. Cannot afford a whiff this early in the state of the game. Perona just gonna be the pass for the turn. Very unfortunate for Porter here, but I think what he's telling you, this is the only card in his deck that can actually whiff, and on a very rare occasion can and does. So sadly, the Perona, nice for addition for an additional searcher, but sadly not good for his whiff here. Nami gonna see if he can get himself a find. A lot of cards in here. Is potential for Wolf to whiff on this one. Not likely, but it is possible. A lot of Straw Hats in here. Also not a lot non-Straw Hats. So if you see the wrong set of cards, could whiff. But no, Rush Sanji off the bat, very good card for this deck. It's going to be a key answer, especially for as many low-to-the-ground blockers Porter likes to throw out. Going to be likely another search, if anything at all. Going to leave the one open. Looks like he's passing back. Porter saying, I wish that mine worked like Nami. Draws for turn. Going to 3 Dawn. This is a turn where you can usually start cheating some characters out. A little bit harder to do on the 3 Dawn turn versus the 4. But here comes Leader with a 6k swing. Also leaving it up for a potential to activate the ability if he can get 5 costs out. Which is not going to be easy. Not this early in the game. Gets a ramp right from life. Trigger to Wolf. Really enjoying that. Here comes a 2 cost for a search. Notably does not have 5, so not going to be able to activate Leader ability. Gets a find this time. Cavendish out there exactly where he wants to find it. Cavendish going to be able to come out on curve and really start helping this game, start energizing and powering through this board state. Back to Wolf here, now at 4 Dawn thanks to that trigger effect. Or 5 Dawn, excuse me, not thanks to that trigger effect. Ramping him out that additional Dawn. 5 out here. Looks like Wolf, this could be his play for his blockers if he wants to set up some walls here. Does have the opportunity to really just go big, go home, put some extra pressure on Porter, attack his life here, make his decisions to use the Leader effect a lot harder. And he can technically attack with 2 if he wants to. Use the Market Special for the Nami swing. Take 2 swings into life here. And really start putting Porter on the pressure by taking from the hand. Porter, unfortunately, not able to get the 2 extra additional cards here. Just 1. Tapping 3 here. Looks like it might be a ramp play. It is. Here it comes. It is delicious. 3 to get another ramp here. Here it comes a Market Special, just as we called it. 5 to 5, asking for 1. Going to take the life hit here. Here comes 6. Going to need a 2. I love this attack. It gets 2 cards and resources guaranteed, where one big swing could just be a life hit. This way, it almost always works out this way. You get 1 life and 1 card out of hand. Whereas sometimes when you attack 7, you only get one or the other. 2 cards a hand and 1 life. And most of the time they take the 1 life in your swings. So absolutely do encourage people. Obviously, this Nami not going to live long. We're going to see Perona likely run into this Nami. Get rid of it, but it has done its purpose. It got a life hit. Got those important resources out of Porter's hand in the early game. 5, going to take an interesting swing from lead to that. But obviously, having to tap out... okay, that's the play. He knew he was going to have to tap out, so that was just the play anyways. Didn't want to make Perona vulnerable. Maybe use his attack later here. But using the extra 2 he gets from Cavendish to put out a blocker and some extra protection. So really, not just a swing with that, but it was just the optimal swing here. Knew he wasn't going to have the Dawn to attack into a 6k life leader. Now up to, what is like 7 or 8 Dawn here for Wolf due to all that ramping. I believe it's 8 now. Hitting 2 perfect, 1 from life. Exactly where you want to do it. Extra card advantage. Here's 8. Eustace Kid would be an optimal play here. Really going to start putting some pressure on Wolf, on Porter here. Getting a key piece to making sure his leader is always 7k. Which is not going to be easy for Porter to do. He doesn't have a whole... He's got to allocate a lot of Dawn for these attacks, guys. A lot of Dawn for these low-level attackers. And when your leader is a 7... it's sometimes just too much. You're not going to get too many hits. Maybe a Cavendish swing, maybe that's it. But that's where Wolf really thrives. If you're only swinging 1-2 characters a turn, heck, dude, I can do this all day. Using leader effect to get an additional Dawn here. Good call here. Here comes Sanji. Going to rest the blocker. Very good play here. 6 into the 2, or 1, excuse me. Yep, Porter definitely not going to defend here. Here comes 7 into life, keeping the pressure on. Porter going to have to take. Here comes another play here. Nami off the top here, searching, leaving notably 1 open. So it means Rad Beam and the Gum Gum Giant, a possible threat for him. Gets Rad Beam off the top. Now Porter with full information that 1 Dawn will stop a 10k swing. Or 11 if he goes in the board here. 2, the play here for Porter. Gets another Kid Killer search. Notably, now Porter not in a position where he wants to use his leader ability. It really threatening for him to start taking life to put out some more bodies out here when he's already so low and having to face down a board state that Wolf was presenting here. Knows that he has to face rushers next turn. Potential for that 9k. Could be scared of the 10 cost. It's not in the deck, but could be concerned with it. Guaranteeing that Wolf will be at 10 Dawn next turn. And definitely needs to start filling up his hand. So we're seeing a lot of searching. Likely looking for 2ks. Here's Capone blocker. Going to get himself some more defensive here. Needs to get defensive because Wolf in a very commanding position, having Porter already at 2 life this early in the game and already at 10 Dawn this early in the game based on those perfect ramps. Porter just, I guess, talking about the searches and what he's allowed to get for this one. Likes to explain to his opponent like what his limitations are to make sure he's grabbing the right target. We have had people in previous tournaments actually get banned or get a game loss, which wasn't a ban, just a game loss, by not grabbing the appropriate target with the right searcher. This one, you have to pay attention. Some get Slash, some get Supernova. You have to pay attention to what you get. Some get Straw Hat. You got to pay attention. All right. So, Cavendish, a possible swing here to restand 2. Chainlow says, nah, he's just dragging about the sick art in his card. Okay. He did get all 4 copies. I'm super excited from Bondi Card Fest. And we were able to, as a team, to help get him all 4 copies of the alt art. Oh, you were marveling at it. Yeah, those alts, very, very hard to get, guys. I don't think you understand how difficult it was to get into the line, let alone get the, to get 4 copies with our team. Like, I think we got 4 as a total by getting lucky to get a last run and getting one of those binders for free. Or not for free, obviously paid for it, but getting another free run at the binder. All right, going to use leader ability, reveal Kid Killer. Definitely not going to take and put it out in play. Not worth it. Definitely not worth it. But did want to give himself some information. Know what kind of counter he's going to get from life. Has enough to play that Capone Beige that we saw get off the Luffy. But bouncing back the Luffy does give an opportunity to replay the Luffy, get another card. It's one of the things that Porter's deck does really well. Just constantly keep searching, grab those 2Ks out of the deck, get ready for some massive swings, because he's going to need to defend himself. Here comes Cavendish, restanding 2, putting him back up to 5. Gets a 1 from the Bonclave. Yet not a lot of value out of the Bonclave anymore. So Wolf getting the maximum value out of the Bonclave this late in the game. Here comes 7 and 7, asking for 1. We'll see if Wolf protects it. I would in his position. Sports State, knowing that he definitely can't attack with anything else coming this way. 4 Dawn remaining here. Likely going to want to put up some blockers. This is an easy decision in my case, but Wolf may have something else in his hand that I'm not thinking about. Looking at the shadows, it looks like he will defend this attack. Yep, here comes a 2K, or 1K from the Queen here. All right. Double blocker says, all right, try to out this. I got double Capone Beige blocker. Send up defensively, needs to. 2 life here. Only really has the leader in Cavendish as realistic attackers into this leader. Wolf at 10 Dawn. Has access to a lot of big answers here. Can use the big mom to put 1 into life. Try to slow him down a little bit that way. Has access to potentially the 10K rusher or 12K rusher with Shanks. That does make him vulnerable to the backswing, but I don't think Porter's attack... Visibly, his attacks don't look pretty strong, but you always have to respect the Hody Jones. You always got to respect it. So don't want to put yourself in a dangerous position and get Hodied out of the game. So we'll see where Wolf wants to take it. Separate into 2 stacks here. Looking like he's going to play a 7 and allocate 3 for attacks. That's what it looks like. Can't really tell right now. Lifted up all of his Dawn. Count it out. Could see another Rush Sanji. All right, now we got what looks like a Rush Luffy, Lin. I saw a Gum Gum Giant in there. So Rush Luffy would be the easiest mathematically to think of. We put in 100. Nope, it's going to go 7. Good call. Never attack with the leader first. So if you have to, attack with it. Especially against yellow. Don't give them the chance for a trigger. Here comes 7 and 7. Gets a block. Here comes 9. Lucky the rush. Yep. Get a return 1. Can use the leader ability to return it. Excellent play style here. Yep. Here comes Rush Luffy. 10 into life. Asking for a blocker. Or a lot of cards out of hand. At least 3 2Ks. Gets the block. All right. Wolf with 1 open. Likely going to leave it open for the Gum Gum Giant and pass back. Shane Lowe says, I was marveling at it. Oh, I'm sorry. It looked like it was a new message because I got a stupid ad break. Have a good day at work. Or good night at work. I think it's getting kind of late. All right, 1 Dawn here. Likely going to get the Luffy search. Yep. Going to search. Porter needs to wall up here. Needs to find more of those early blockers. Get the body blockers. Get the last Capone Beige. Okay. Healing. Not bad. Gonna go for the heal law. Help him get some extra attacks in. Not in the most optimal positions against this deck as Porter. But 9 Dawn here, setting 2 aside. Looks like we're gonna see the 7 set for the heal law. Don't forget, does get an additional 2 from the attack from Cavendish and can go to life if he wants to. All right, heal law. Gonna put Cavendish in life. Making sure he has another answer for Cavendish if that one happens to get removed. But as I see Wolf just focusing on life here, really trying to put the paint on, trying to make sure that he doesn't give Porter enough time to keep refilling that hand with all these searchers. Here comes Cavendish, loaded up here, 7 and 7, restanding 2. On the attack swing, Wolf gives him the 1K, the Bonclay. Best use this late in the game. We got 6 on the leader. Could see a bounce. Definitely not going to likely see him use from life once they value that, but does have insurance to keep this Cavendish live. As we did say earlier, this is a key card in this deck. Got to have the Cavendish. It just really makes or breaks his ability to just play the characters out, get allocation of Dawn, and especially getting the Dawn he needs for some of these swings. Because a lot of his deck very low to the ground, kind of like Rayleigh. Needs some Dawn to start getting some big swings in. Nothing left, though, unfortunately, to attack anything that's really in board. Can try to push for a 2K, but likely Wolf's going to have it. It has one open, so not really that threatening. 10K outside of his range of attack. We'll see what Porter does. He loves to focus on board, so likely going to be a hit to Sanji. But he's going to use leader ability, reveal, not take the life. Good call. Using that so we can get another search from Luffy. Gonna get another search. Look at the top 5. Trying to fill up his hand with as many 2Ks as possible. Hopefully Wolf taking notes. Gets himself X-Drake. Recognizing at least how many 2Ks he's got to fight through. Here comes what looks like a 7K swing into Sanji. 7-7, asking for 1. Maybe hoping he'll use the Gum Gum Giant on a 1K counter. And it looks like he might. Just to fix up the hand, here comes the Gum Gum Giant just to block 1K. Does get 2 new cards and gets rid of the Big Mom. Notably, there is no blocker left on Porter's side, so the Big Mom lost a lot of its value here. Doesn't need the life. Really just needs the aggression. Here comes Porter. No blockers to speak of. Fat hand. 2 life. Can we see some massive swings here from Wolf? Shanks would be an absolute closer at this point. Could go for the useless kid. I like that play. Gets the piece out there. Make sure his leader at 7K for the turn. Not a lot of rush left in his hand here. Has some great quality swings here. Porter with arguably one of his more giant cards, but between, what do you guys think? Between Trafalgar Law and Hody Jones, which one of those things do you guys think is more threatening? Curious. Trafalgar Law, definitely a good powerhouse, good life gain, something that's necessary for this deck. Especially having a leader it takes from life constantly to ramp out here. Hody Jones, more powerful. Yeah. Yeah, it is a scary card, Chimo. Hody Jones, absolutely terrifying. Always got to respect it. Always got to be ready for it. Wolf navigating his turn here. Counting his Dawn. And I like what he does here. Like, you got to think about it. He always keeps the stuff in the stack. So he never lets his opponent into his mindset. He's keeps the 10 out there. He counts it out. He's using that count math just to navigate in his head what he wants to do with the cards and he has in his hand. But he doesn't put them in 2 stacks because he doesn't want to give that knowledge away. Doesn't want his opponent to understand how he's going to allocate this. So taking the first 2, using that for an 8K swing into life. Oh, into Cavendish. Interesting. Okay, good call. No blocker, and Porter willing to give it up since he knows he has one in life. But does prevent him from attacking with the next turn. Here comes the draw 2 discard from Queen. So allocating 7 Dawn so far. Taking Arrested and put it out into there. He can get it back easily with his leader ability. Essentially making this cost 4, so leaving him with 4 Dawn after leader effect. Luke Goblin says, it's funny, I've seen certain sleeves on decks long enough to kind of remember players by what they play. Yeah, right? Luke, I'm not a local, but I know Porter from his Dawn and sleeves, right? That's absolutely fair. He plays the color on theme, and he's always got those Laudon that we've helped build for him. Don't even have to look at the name. 10K looks like that was a life hit. Going, what looks like back to Porter. Yeah, I am the same way in Union Arena. Most of the time when I'm on other games, I like to get some of those really cool sleeves that Chris gets in. We've got these really cool Warhammer sleeves that just came in. Love them. Matte back. Shuffle great. An ode to when I used to play Warhammer 40K. He also got some really cool sleeves from the, what is that video game? Fallout. And God, I love it. I love those sleeves. I love the show. Love the game. Played it as a kid. It's been a long time, but Fallout was such a great game. Luke Goblin says, my brain freaks out if I don't have things color-coded and themed. I think a lot of people, bro, you gotta, like, it helps. It also helps when you're looking at decks, if you have multiple decks like we do. If I can see the sleeves, I can kind of like, oh, I know that's that deck. So if you're color court like this, I think Porter knows instantaneously, oh, green sleeves, this is Trafalgar Law. It really definitely helps with organization and quick looks when you're trying to find what decks. I try to make like a lot of my decks on Union Arena, because I have so many. I make them in sync with the color of the deck that I'm playing. That way I can kind of remember, okay, this is the red version of whatever I'm playing. The one color sleeve for every deck community terrifies me. Right? It's like, bro, find a different color. All right, Rad Beam, the counter for the attack from Trafalgar Law. So here comes the pressure that Porter can try to put on here. 2 open, 7 into 6, just gets a 2K from hand. Here comes Searcher Luffy. He's trying to stack that hand up with 2Ks. No blockers to speak of either. Nope. I spoke too soon. Here we go. We got ourselves a Bonnie blocker. Exactly what he was looking for, it looks like. Oh, no, I'm sorry, Freezer. The Bonnie Freezer. That's not the blocker. It's going to freeze Monkey D. Luffy this turn. Good. Stopping that offensive from coming in. Ooh, girl, we need to get that fat little knot out of your ear. We need to get that knot out of your ear. Collecting hair out of there. Yep. Bonnie's going to freeze up that 10K power of Monkey D. Luffy. Wolf, reasonably, with 3 attacks against a 5K leader. Porter tapped out. We're going to see how he navigates this turn. Luke Goblin says, watching a couple episodes of Peacemaker. I'll be lurking though. All right, enjoy the show. Tell me if it's any good. I haven't caught. I know I've watched all of season 1. I enjoyed it thoroughly, but I haven't had time for it. I'm still trying to get the. Oh gosh, so many anime I'm trying to catch up with. On top of that, the new Alice in Borderlands just dropped on Netflix, and I am a huge fan of the manga. Huge fan of the show. The live action's been crushing it. We watched episode 1 last night, and I was just blown away. And of course, I got my football. Well, not my team, but I got a player playing tonight that I need 30 points from. So, got a lot of things demanding my attention in the entertainment world. That's for sure. But thank you for the comment. I appreciate it, Luke. All right, Wolf looking like he wants to hold that Beckman, maybe get rid of the Bonnie just to ensure that he doesn't have to worry about an attack threat next turn. And you put it to the front of the pack here. 6 into life, just trying to whittle the cards in a hand. Gets a 2K. One he already knew about and searched for. You're good, girl. You're good. You're good. You're good. Getting 2 cards with that one. That's a huge hit. Ooh, thanks to the slobber, girl. Thank you. Thanks for the present. Newfoundlanders, am I right? Slobber monkeys. All over the place. All right. Setting up 5 and 5. Could go for another blocker this way, but oh, here we go. Big 7K swing here coming from Nami. Like I said, 3 reasonable attacks here. That one gonna make it through. Oh, gonna use big swing here from. Oh, all bricked up. 2 Hodies and a nut. 1K. 8 is just enough. Wolf did the math and swung with a blocker. Insane. In the membrane. Oh, shoot. Skip too far. I didn't want to skip that far. Wolf with his 2nd bounty pack of the day. I'm just kidding. You guys didn't see what he got. Shiki. Vertigo. Rowan Orizoro. Jaguar D Sol. Rowan Orizoro. Koala. Tashigi is a good rare. And Rosinante, maybe he'll be a good rare at some point. But Tashigi is a very, very good rare. Good hit. Gets himself a nice little SR. I feel like these packs are just telling him to play Zoro again. Play me, play me. All right, that is it for round 3. Guys, that means we only have 1 round left in pack giveaway. Coming up, we have an amazing game between an old favorite, our #1 MVP from Series 1, Ver. Man's been working his butt off, trying to take care of his family, traveling back and forth from his home country, his other home country. But he's been doing just amazing work, trying to get what time he can and what freedom he can. He's back in the store. My man F-Dog, Ver, back in the house with an old favorite. A deck I don't think many of you have seen in a very, very long time. I was looking back in my emails and I was searching through all the deck lists, trying to find out something relevant. And I was like, man, it's been a long time since I've seen this deck. Ver didn't give me his list, but I did find a championship series deck that's been playing in this meta. Yellow Katakuri. Surprisingly, still relevant in today's meta. Used to be the deck that nobody wanted to give up on. It was kind of like the Lucci deck of today. No one wanted to give up on Katakuri. And there's still people out there that are believers in the yellow Katakuri. And this deck has been able to win 3 times, going up now against the current lead on the championship table, Wolf. Red Purple Luffy putting up so much work against so many good meta decks we've seen on camera. Now we're going to have to test Wolf's skills. Does he remember the Katakuri nightmare that was Yellow? And the reason that people even hated Yellow back in the day, this man was an absolute menace, right up there with Enel. It was Enel or Katakuri. Which one did you not want to play against? Both was the answer. Both. I don't want to play against either. They're very, very good decks, powerful Yellow decks. We're going to get those deck lists. We're going to check this out, and we're getting the last round between these two Titans and find out who's going to walk home with the maximum amount of points on our championship, find out who's the leaderboard, and give away these 2 packs, and find out if we have an ult in one of these 2 packs. Let's get into the deck list. All right, so starting off with the deck. Wait, no, it's not. That's not the deck. That's not the deck. Where's the deck? That's the deck. There we go. That's the deck. Getting ourselves in here for his deck list here. I got to remember to copy and update this on my Patreon account. But all those interested, by the way, if you want to find all these deck lists, I do have them access on my Patreon account. They are available for free. You can become a free member today on my Patreon, get news and notifications of what's going on with the channel, and an easy way for me to contact you and give credit to you when we can start doing YouTube videos again. Say thank you to all of my patrons and help and support. So if you want this information, we can get some really good content out there for free. You become a free member today. Just follow the link down below on both my YouTube and my Twitch channel. You can get to my Patreon account. And if you got a buck or two, if you want to pass them my way, I'd appreciate it. If not, it's okay. I'm here for the content. I'm here for you guys. I want to make a good community. I love you guys truly. Thank you for being here. Now, let's get into Wolf's deck list. Red, Purple, Monkey Luffy. This is the 3rd time we're going to be covering this on channel, so I'm going to go in this a little bit faster. Those watching the VOD, go back to the 2nd and 1st time on the VOD here to check out exactly my synopsis of this deck. But what are we trying to do in quick? We have a 6,000 power leader, 3 life. We want to ramp, we want to ramp, we want to ramp. We want to get to the top end here, and we want to punish our opponent as quick as possible. We want to do something similar to what Blue Purple Luffy does, but not the draw. Still get into these powerhouse hits with Charlotte Linlin that was banned in Blue Purple Luffy, and now we're trying to see is it still powerful enough and strong enough in this Red Purple Luffy. Get into this Rush Monkey Luffy that has a nice little draw and like just absolutely amazing attack strategy with 10k power. This 12k power with the static ability of reducing all your opponent's characters by 1000 power. This Useless Kid that really only sees play in this deck. It does in the Useless Kid deck if you see it. I saw one guy really trying to meme on the planet to say that he could play the Useless Kid deck that came out with this starter deck. There were 3 different leaders that came out: Red Purple Luffy, Red Purple Law, and the purple, I think it was Red Purple Uses Kid as well. So all 3 leaders, Red Purple, and this one really only sees heavy play in this deck. It synergizes too well. Don -1, give you leader plus 1000 for the opponent's next turn, making the leader 7k. Extremely relevant in this upcoming format where a lot of these leaders are going to be 6-7k. So this really relevant in this new meta. So something you shouldn't sleep on. One of the things that was usually a wall to prevent people from playing this deck, Bond Clay. Most expensive card that you can get in here was a secret rare in a EB set, very short print EB set. But thankfully, this weekend, this Friday, check it out in PRBO2. Finally get access to this card at value. This tank in value, but good enough to get people to be able to play this deck. So I'm super, super excited. We have Ben Beckman for trash removal, very unique removal. We got Sanji for resting blockers and rushing in the face. We've got ramp, we got ramp, and we got ramp. Like all the ramp you want in this deck, along with some great defense. Attacking strong, defense strong, and getting to the 10 before your opponent does. This is what the deck does well. His opponent with a fan favorite, the old days back in the day. What did this guy come back in here? OP03. Since OP03, we're in 12, guys. That's 9 sets ago. 9. OP03 Don times 1. When attacking, look at the top 1 card from the top of your opponent's life cards and place it in the top or bottom of your life cards. This leader gains plus 1,000 until end of battle. Meaning he's always swinging 7. The optimal 7. Back in the day, that's all we talked about. Optimal 7, optimal 7. This one Dawn attach, tax in, gain, always swinging for 7 with that 1 Dawn. Not to mention playing with perfect knowledge of what my opponent has. If I played this long enough, I know exactly what you have in life. I know exactly what counter to plan for. I make sure that if I'm playing against yellow, I'm not going to get the wrong trigger at the wrong time. I'm playing with absolute knowledge with this deck. Having the ability to look at there, check it, make sure that I'm not running into a trap. Very, very strong. Follow that up there with some of the strongest yellow cards to date being printed. This again being the championship deck that did really well in a regional qualifier here. Bartholomew Kuma, the newest card to come out in 12 that seems to be in hot demand in anything that plays yellow. You got yourself an on-play to trash a card from your hand, add up to 1 card from the top of your library to the top of your life cards. Then this card gains plus 2 cost. And on KO, add up to 1 card from the top of your deck to the top of your life cards. Instant life gain. This man is passing away life like it's going out of business. We've got the 10 cost Linlin, the Nightmare. You see this thing back to back. The game is likely not going your way, if not over for you. This one on play, if your leader is Big Mom Pirates, which it is, it's got a curry. Add 1 card from the top of your deck to the top of your life cards, then trash a life from your opponent's life. Trash. That means no, you do not get to add it to hand. Absolutely trash it. What's helping with that? We've got things like this with Basil Hawkins that when KO trashes a life. We got one that heals on KO. We've got some Eustace Kid power here where you can rest this character, trash up to 1 card from the top of your opponent's life cards. On play. Just trash. Goodbye. 8 cost. Goodbye. Get rid of it. I don't want to deal with it. And if I want to swing, I'm going to swing and banish. I don't want you getting triggers, is what this deck says. I don't want you getting value out of your life hits. Your life is of no consequence to me. I don't want you getting anything out of it. And I'm going to make sure that when I hit the best value. Love this deck. One thing I would say that was missing from the championship deck was Nico Robin. Definitely something I would want a 2 of, but nope, just not in this deck, which is fine. Stay on theme. You got your Searcher for a lot of the Big Mom stuff, so all the key pieces for it. Obviously, can't find Kuma, can't find Nami with it. Can't find Kid or the Capone Beiges, or Beige, or Kikinojo. There's a very little that searches in the Big Mom. Roulette really just the big key here for nice little 2Ks and a nice little 2K blocker. And the Nami, or sorry, the Zeus here. So, nice little 4 of on the 0 cost to make sure all these no counter cards become 3K counters just in case. And a lot of triggers. Get ready. Trigger happy is this yellow deck. Let's get into our finals, everyone. This is it. The last round before the pack giveaway. Head to head, Wolf Ver playing for the championship. I don't think this is 50 minutes long. I think we maybe forgot to turn it off. Last bounty pack on the table, Ver and Wolf. And the sleeves, man, these sleeves. Been a long time, Ver. I hope you're playing something and not you've updated your deck here. 7, the roll for Ver. Wolf trying to beat it with a 9. He does. Wolf with choice. Ver using the sequence Katakuri sleeves with his Katakuri deck and his alt arts here. Likely going to be a few changes here with the deck. I just wanted to showcase that championship deck and give you guys kind of a deck tech of a deck that does exist out in the wild. So if you do see anything that doesn't match up, that's just because I couldn't get a list from Ver in time. And sometimes I only have so much time to build those lists. So took a lot of time to get the early deck lists. Ver's list, after I saw that guy's deck tech, I was like, you know what? I'm going to talk about the guy that did really well with this deck. Give you guys a list that's been very, very successful. So if you're interested in Katakuri, you can check it out. It's on my Patreon. All right. 5 life leader, 3 life. Wolf still working on his mulligan. Hey, Alberon! Bion. Owl, I've been dying to know how to say your name right. Because I know what an owlbear is. I do know what an owlbear is, but you got an N in the end. And I don't know how to say Albaron. Or are you trying to say Owl Baron? Or you, I like, because I get it. I get the D&D reference. I get it. And I've been calling you Alburn. I don't know if that's how I'm supposed to be saying it, because it's a unique name. Very unique name. But thank you. Welcome back. If you could spell it out phonetically in the chat, I'd really help it. I really appreciate it. 8K, looks like Wolf's going to take it early game. No turn 1 play for Wolf, though. So, Wolf really hesitating. Doesn't like to take that first life and a 3-life leader. Doesn't also like to have to give up a lot of cards for the swing. And Ver, notably, with not an 8, but a 9K swing here. And Ver not in the know, but Ver in the know of what that life hit is. So, really curious. All right. Ver with the take. Doesn't want to give too many resources this early in the game. And definitely doesn't want to Gum Giant this early in the game. Here comes his first ramp card. Bonclave out. Now, notably, there's nothing to copy here against Ver's deck. So, this one just going to be a 1K for now. 6K to life, asking for 2. We'll see if Ver gives it up. Gives it up. 2K from the Boule. 5 Dawn turn here for Ver. We'll see if he puts up some board state or just decides, I'm going to keep swinging heavy. All right, here comes the first swing. Here comes 7. Alburn says, of course you guys get the D&D reference. I wanted the owl bear, but Twitch didn't allow it. Really? Because someone took it. Okay, because someone took it for you. So I just add the N for my short name, Noli. Okay. So yeah, it's just call me Owl, and I will tell you all there is to know about the Amish people. All right, sounds great, Owl. I appreciate it. Owl it is. I like it. Thank you for helping me with that. It is sad. I hate it when people have my username, but luckily mine's unique enough that it hasn't been taken on any social medias yet. We'll see if I take off. Then people will start taking it on games I play. I won't like some of the other gamers out there. I won't be able to use my Humbro Pie moniker on some of the games I play. I'll be like, let's try out this new game and try put Humbro Pie. I'm like, all right, who's copying me? Who's copying me? How could I not get the D&D reference? I mean, come on. The movie was hilarious, by the way. Underrated. Seriously underrated. On top of course, another class. I've played a druid before. I played with a lot of these different characters back in my day. I love imagining the randomness and getting with a group of friends, get some drinks, get some food, just have a good time and just laugh with your friends. So Wolf gonna navigate his turn. Ver dangerously putting a target out for this this Bonclave, but maybe just wants to get it out of the way. Having to put out a 6K power body that can be copied. Here comes 6 in the life, asking for 2. Will Ver give it up? Or will he take the life? He takes the life. Now likely going to see another 6K swing, if not higher, for this Bonclave. Sequencing. Sequencing. I don't know if I like that strategy. Maybe he wants to keep it alive for a higher attack later game. That might be it. That could be where Wolf's head's at, playing for the late game. And wants to keep this Bonclave for that value. But definitely turned off the capability for Bonclave to copy anything. Trashing the Kikinojo before it can get live for the heal is a good call, though. Al says, Ver is in an advantage. The lifelink games mat is on his side. That's true. That's true. All right, getting a heal from the Kuma. Already back up to 5. Wolf saying, I did so much to get rid of that last one. Why do you have to keep healing? And now, not only that, putting up a Batsuhimi Kuma, whose only restriction is it must be KO'd to gain a life. No other restriction. You know how many other cards out there is like you have to be at 2 life to gain life. You have to be this to gain a life. Like there's so many other restrictions. Kuma just says, don't KO me, bro. Don't run into me because I will gain a life. That non-restrictive power creep for Kuma is just absolutely insane. And why it's going to be a staple in every yellow deck going forward. I'm telling you guys, like every yellow deck's going to have this. Absolutely insanely powerful card. All right, Wolf going in for 6, asking for 2. We'll see if he gets a life. Gets 2, though. Satori, the counter. Here comes 7. Likely going to be a quick take to life here for Ver. Yep, check for trigger. Does he have one? It's looking like. Debating on whether to resolve it. Is going to Rocket Nami. Going to get rid of the Bonclave. Says, nope. I'm not going to let you save that for later. Gets a draw card and KO. leaving Wolf with little offensive here, but does wall up here. Does Wolf? He gets to play the queen to draw 2, discard 1. Owl says, do they have stone cards with dice in this one? Stone cards with dice. Stone cards with dice. I mean, I don't. Are you referring to like some kind of like layer for to like to hold on to your dice like they do in Commander for Magic the Gathering? But I mean, you can always buy stone dice because you do have to roll dice in the beginning, and sometimes the dice represents like power increase, decrease, cost increase, decrease. So there is use of dice in this one. Personally, I like candy dice. That way, if I ever lose a die roll, I can just eat it and set my dominance against my opponent as he watches me chew my dice in front of him. Stoning cards with dice, putting the dice on it, but secretly stoning them to death because of the Bible. No, Kuma would be the person to do that too, though. Man loves his Bible. I'll tell you that. If you don't know about the character Kuma, he's always carrying a Bible. It does talk about the sun god Nika, which we found out here recently in the anime. I'm not spoiling it. In the anime, it is sun god Nika that's in there, but it does have a reference to the cross, and he was always carrying it. So back in the day, we're like, does Jesus exist in this universe? All right, 7K. Ver obviously knows of the last 2 cards Wolf has, so now he's just making sure his life is pretty good to go. 7K swing into Wolf here. Looks like Wolf did counter out of that with a 2K. Katakuri gonna put that Beckman into life here. And this is where the yellow stall starts to go in his favor here. Just constantly removing threats, putting it in life, stalling the opponent, trying to starve it as best he can to go for a massive big game swing as soon as your opponent runs out of resources. Now this yellow always wants to push for these long games. I don't know any yellow deck that doesn't, honestly. I failed to find Yamato, I guess, would be the only example I can think off the top of my head that would just try to end the game as quick as possible. But most yellow decks I play against, stall. Get into Eggman, stall. Get into Enel, stall. Katakuri, same thing. I guess I should say the yellow base, just yellow. Like even Linlin back in the day was such a stall deck. Yamato yellow, never been played, still feels like a stall deck. 7 into Kuma, willing to give him a life. Interesting. Just to get the power off the board, but very willing to save it. 2K counter. Wolf wondering if we can save the play in the same game. Okay, all right. I don't think there's a legal target for this Linlin, but does heal him alive. Is it cheap enough? It is cheap enough. All right, my bad. Owl says, I will start reading One Piece manga by the time I graduate. I have kids. I might be able to finish it. Yeah, right? It is worth the read. I promise you it goes faster than you think. Reading it really goes faster than you think. I got caught up on 400 chapters within like 3 days and a weekend because it was just so quick. Each chapter honestly takes me about 10 to 15 unless I really want to study the panels. And sometimes I can read them in about 5 if I'm really trying to like speed run through it. But it goes by faster than you think, and I definitely recommend it. Especially what's been happening now. Real tearjerkers, real emotional pullers. That is faster than Amish people build Luffy's ship. That's true. I don't know if it's as durable, but it is. If you read the manga, it's way faster than watch the anime. Recently, you could manage it in about a year. Yeah, Emma Kappa, I agree completely. Thank you for that. Emma, by the way, we're giving away packs, so if you want to hit exclamation point join, I'll add your name to the wheel for the end of stream pack giveaway. But great comment. Thank you for that. It's so much faster. Looks like the Zeus here getting some value out of popping one of those queens here. Zeus, very powerful new card. The guy came out here, 2K power, also capability of removing 5K or lesses on play. Just very, very strong card. Katakuri coming in for 8 damage. able to double check, make sure you remember. Oh, because it is a new life. Remember, this was the new one from Linlin. So he did want to find out what it was. Owl says, when you win a pack, I will also make Polish people pray for your good health. Like it. All right, Wolf gonna have another take from the Katakuri swing here. Here comes another Kuma to heal up yet again. 5 life. I feel like Bear hasn't moved in life count since the start of the game. Just absolutely dwindling the resources, Wolf here. However, Wolf does have a big mom. Good attacker. 2 cards in hand for Bear. So, easy to get out, especially with there's no blocker here on Bear's side. So the math a little bit easy. Can easily handle this Katakuri and get off the board. Here comes Shanks. That's going to be a perfect answer here. Reducing the board by 1,000. 8 into 7 here. That's going to kill it. Or say 9 into 9, I believe. Sorry. Is this series of cards made in Japan originally? It is actually, Owl. It is. It starts off in Japan. We're eventually going to get caught up to the point where they're simultaneous release. So we're trying by April of next year to come out with simultaneous release. But right now, Japan is ahead of us by at least a set and a half. The East gets the cards early. We get to read those cards. We get to watch all those spoilers. But in April, we will be caught up. And we'll be able to see everything that they see at the same time. It is very, I'm loving it. I think it's fantastic. I can't wait till we can start building the meta instead of relying on whatever the East did first. Really looking forward to that. The only downside I see to it right now is we're getting set so fast that my wallet is hurting. Not only is it hard to run multiple card games, but the set's coming up very, very fast. I feel like we just got 12 and we're already into a prime set with OP13. Holy, what is this? 9K Zeus attack? 9. Okay. No, 8. I forgot about the Shanks production. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right. 8K Zeus attack? Oh, wow. I don't think I've seen a Zeus attack that strong in a long time. Not since the anime, that's for sure. 8K Shanks bottom minus 1K. Thank you for the fix. I really appreciate that. Afio. By the way, guys, we're giving away packs at the end. Hit exclamation point join. This is the last game of the day. I'm giving away free stuff. It's free money. It's free real estate. All right, this one, a leader not affected by Shanks here, but this one going to be a 9K swing. Thank you so much. 9K swing because of leader ability. Leaving Ben Beckman in life. Passing back the turn, not willing to attack with Akuma. Doesn't want to make it vulnerable. They're in a very comfortable 5 life versus Wolf's board state here. That Ben Beckman is in life upside face up due to the Katakuri. Alice says, you should put a gecko's tail in your wallet, and if you will, you will get money, White Gandalf, at least the true according to my grandma. Gecko's tail. We have geckos around here. I like my geckos, though. I don't want to hurt my geckos. We have like 3 or 4 really cool geckos that hang around. I'll give them names. They're like the Ninja Turtles out here for me, but they're geckos. So the Ninja Geckos. Teenage Mutant Ninja Geckos. But I like that because I really want money sometimes, but man, I love my geckos. They're cute. They eat the bugs. Keep things clean. I got a lot of stink bug problems. I have names for them. You have names for my geckos? All right, go ahead. You can name my geckos. Tell me what some of the names are. If you're close, I'll let you know. Interesting. Have names for my geckos. All right, 12K. This one definitely easy take for Bear here. Wolf on the turning point. Looks like he's going to have to start going all out offensive. Ben Beckman going to trash. That does get around the KO ability. No life gain. And I believe due to the Shanks power reduction, it made the Beckman actually alive. Am I right on that? It's hard to read that card. I think we're seeing a combo. Yes. Yes, indeed. 7K body. The Shanks comboing with a Ben Beckman. Getting the opportunity to absolutely trash and get around the KO ability. Combo. In this red purple Luffy deck. Fribbly, dribbly, pribbly. Because they don't know how to fly. If I find 3 new geckos, I'm going to name them Fribbly, dribbly, and pribbly. I like that. I like that, Owl. Oh, here's a big one. Big Mom trashing the last life here, gaining a life. If Bear can back this up with another 10 cost Big Mom, I don't see how Wolf survives this. I mean, yeah, it can counter out of a lot of swings, but man, this is a powerful, powerful card that can really take the game in Bear's favor. All right, I'm happy. Thank you. I'm happy you're happy. I'm all about it, Owl. Fribbly, dribbly, pribbly. Fribbly, dribbly, pribbly. I need to write a book about these three now. We gotta write an epic. Come on, Owl. We gotta write an epic with these three. If Jim Henson and Dr. Seuss and the rest of them can make money doing it, we could do it too. 6K into life. Gonna get a trigger. Nice. Getting a Sparrow from life here to get an additional attacker. Ben Beckman coming into life. 7. Gonna take. Wolf 9 into life here. Very likely gonna have to take. I mean, the offensive is just not in his favor. Vera's gonna. This looks like they're pushing both opponents to last turn. Wolf just ready to close it out. Ready to hate. He's like, I'm done with the stall. Let's close this out. I believe he has some Dawn left, so there could be a chance he puts out a blocker, which would be optimal for Wolf here. Needs a blocker. Because 10 loaded up, even with the 1K reduction, is still 21,000 if he loads up that that Dawn on Big Mom. Which is very hard for Wolf to counter out of. All right, hit. Here comes the Shanks. This one they hit. All right, does Wolf follow it out with a blocker? Needs to get a blocker out here. All right, Sanji, good call. Definitely can stop Ver from doing a massive swing to having to separate it into these 3Ks. Note that Big Mom is at 11, Sparrow at 4, 10 Dawn, just swinging the basic 11 into life, looking to get the blocker. Alice says, we will write an epic for our geckos, and then we will intentionally make Twitter mad to promote it. Absolutely. I like it. All right, Gum Gum Giant, the protection for this swing. Discarding 1, gonna get 2. Does he get enough counter to counter out more? Because that only puts him up to 10. Needs additional 2 to get out of this attack. It looked like it's kind of saw him discard, so it might have been a 2K. If Ver takes an action, he was able to discard out of this. Our geckos. Now I gotta write up a song for our geckos. The Fribbly, Dribbly, and Pribbly. You know what it reminds me of? DuckTales. DuckTales. Do. Different names, but it could be like the Gecko Tales. Nah, it's got to be one syllable. Nah, we can do something with this. All right. Kuma gonna get himself a life. What, Gandalf, are they making fake versions of these cards? Well, always are. Everyone always proxies this stuff. Especially when it gets out of control. But I gotta say, less likely than most games. Anytime that you have a price tag on some of these cards that are truly expensive, people will proxy. But given the economy of One Piece, there's less people that actually do proxy these cards. All right. 7, Wolf trying to have to discard 2. I think that was a play for Ver to try to get rid of the blocker. And instead of going for 7 for the Sparrows, goes for a blocker play for the Charlotte Brûlée. So now Ver on the defensive. 1 blocker, 1 life. Massive board here for Wolf. And very few cards, only about 4 or 5 cards in hand for Ver. Not going to be an easy defense. Owl says, Fribbly, Dribbly, and Pribbly will make best friends with Kaiju. Oh, they always do. Absolutely. She loves the geckos. She treats them well. Yeah, she'll chase them around the yard, but she loves them. She doesn't eat them. She like hops around like the frogs too, because the frogs we have, she likes to hop when she sees them jump. It's adorable. 9K swing coming in. Ver going to use a blocker early. I don't like that play. Too much information. If he can block out of this, I think he should. A counter out of this. But then again, that math gets easier the more counter he uses from hand. Could also take. There you go. There is the take. Using that life he gained from Kuma. Al says, we have frogs here too. Oh, I got an idea. All right. The Frog Gecko matchup? Let me know. I'm listening. Ben Beckman with a 9K swing. Into life. Needs 5 cards, or was it 3 cards? At least 3 cards optimally from hand. For Vera, optimally, anyways. If he wants to counter out of it, here's 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, there's 3 cards using the 0 cost event. Here comes 9 again. Really trying to stretch this card hand. Could get the block, but if he does, the Shanks is live for KO. Is this going to be it? Does he use a blocker? If he does, Shanks has got the game. There's definitely not enough cards in his hand. All right, gets all 3. 0 cards in hand. Shanks attacks, counters immediately. Does Ver have it? Or did he, what did I miss? I think he's saying that he loses like all 3 cards. So he's playing it out that he would block the Shanks attack, but then have nothing in hand for the Sanji attack. And would lose the game that way. Yeah, that's what's got to happen. Okay, so they didn't play it out here, but basically Shanks swings in, Brule blocks. He has 6 to a 5. Ver has no cards left in hand, so the math is easy. Al says, when we left without money, we can kiss a frog, and then they can presumably become a queen, and if we can inherit their kingdom. It's a lot of ifs here, but I think you're onto something. A lot of ifs, but I think you're onto something. There's a strategy here, Owl. There's something here. I'm with you. I'm on to you. I think I'm with you here. I'm with you here. Thank you so much for those comments, Al. Appreciate you. We're going to get into the wheel, give these packs away, and call tonight. Maybe raid Chicky Tendies. Yes, he's still alive. Good, good, good. Happy to hear that he's still alive. We can raid Chicky Tendies, see him. Haven't seen him in a while. Want to say hi. Hope he's doing well. I had a great dual stream with him back in the way. The VOD was fantastic. The Wheel of Torture. The Wheel of Torture? You're getting free stuff. This wheel is amazing. Oh, do we have a pack opening still too? Oh, okay. Oh, we got it. We got a bounty pack. We got a bounty pack. Let me get there real quick. We do have the bounty pack. I almost forgot Wolf with the 3-0 on the bounties today. Congratulations. 3 free packs just for playing this tournament. L Purple Donkey, thank you very much for the exclamation point join. I'll make sure you're on the wheel. Here we go. Wolf missed the alt, but got himself 2 really good cards. He got himself the Mihawk today, the rare Tashigi. Getting a lot of good Zoro cards here. Also, the box opening you guys watched, that was his box. So a lot of good cards here. And another 2 more cards for Zoro. Build Zoro, Wolf. Build it. The deck is telling you to build it. You've got the best hits for Zoro on these packs. Just build it. It's demanding you build it, Wolf. Owl says it's torture beast because it cannot read the names when it spins. Oh, it's already built. Okay. All right. All right. All right. Good to hear. I'm glad to hear it because you're getting a lot of support for that. J-Lo, you were getting all kinds of support. Those packs were just saying, do it again. Do it again. All right. Adding the last few people to the wheel so we can call tonight and go for the raid. Hey, girl. You've had a lot of people say hi. They were really excited for you. Say hi to the camera. Here. I know I'm getting your ear, but say hi to the camera. Say hi to the camera. Hi to the camera. Hi. Can you say hi to the camera? They want to see you. Al says, you guys win packs and I will dance because I am here for the weekend. Oh, thank you so much, Al. I do have you on there if you want to pass it to somebody your choice. You do have that option, Al. So if you win, if you don't want the pack coming your way, hi, I love her. I don't blame you. Hi, Kaiju. See, you got people in the chat that saying hi. But Owl, if you want to pass that pack, you're more than welcome to. Emma Kappa, I'm still waiting for a exclamation point join if you want to be in the wheel. I'll give you a couple more seconds to see if you want to be added here. But I did not. New time chatters, I don't know. Some people don't care. They don't want to deal with it. They don't want to. I mean, obviously, I'm a new person. You don't know who I am, so don't know to trust me. But I do need your personal information to send you stuff, and I delete it. I don't care about your personal information. You should have her co-host, Chandler. She was co-hosting this whole time. Were you even paying attention? You didn't hear the barks? You didn't hear the howls to the moon? She was going, she knew life was coming, and she was like, oh! And she knew it was there. It was the sound effects in the background. She was here the whole time. It's like you're looking at the planet and you're saying it was always kaiju. It always was. It always was. She was chasing geckos just a second ago. Yes, she was, Owl. Absolutely. It even saw us kiss frogs. Yeah, she did. She saw it. She saw it. It was great. Good time. Chainlow, you're missing all this content. All right, guys, I got the wheel set. Let's go find out who's going to win these 2 packs for tonight. Well, of course, I keep taking girl kaiju. All right, shuffle the wheel. The wheel is set. Let's get ourselves a first and second winner of the night. Free packs all the way. And our first pack is Little Pound Cake. Man, it's been a long time since you won. Little Pound Cake. It's been a while, a hot minute. You used to have a pack of these things. Stack them. Waiting for you. It's been a while. Yonko Richie, you better be in there. Yeah, he's in there. He's got it rigged, right? Also, White Gandalf doesn't steal personal info. He has left black magic behind him. So accurate. So accurate. Little Pound Cake, let's see what you won. We got ourselves our first pack. Rigged, says 39 Real. Rigged in the chat. Get them out there. Spam it out, guys. Spam out the rigged. I love it because most of the people that win also spam the rigged. Let's go. Let's see who's won. Ippon Matsu. Crocodile. Don Quixote Rosinante. Back when he was in the Navy. Baby 5. Uncle Richie. Let's see a banger. I hope so. Bastille. 2 sword style. Rashomon. I love you. I love you. I love you, chat. I love you. I will pretend he won a microwave. Yeah, right? Trafalgar Law. Sorry, I'm late. Raid. Zeph. All right. Not a leader pack. Can it be an SR? Can it be an alt? Beowulf Burst! Tashigi Rare. Okay, double rare pack. Tashigi Rare is still a good rare. This one's good for Sanji. This one's really good for, like, maybe Wolf wants his third Zoro deck. Can you play 3 Zoro decks at the same time? Wolf, can you? I mean, we should see if we can do that. But you can build your third Zoro deck right here. They look nice and shiny. Yes, they are. Very. I love the artwork, guys. The artwork they do here, the foiling that they do, it's just next level. When you get to the alts, when you can see them here, the etching, it's chef's kiss. Bandai has been outdoing themselves set after set after set. We got to see that amazing event that Wolf pulled from that box earlier. Up close, the etching, the colorization, it's just so brilliant. And I love that they took it right from the manga pile too. So just absolutely gorgeous. Hats off to you, Bandai. Keep up the good work, and please bring that more alts over to Union Arena and over into. I guess you're doing a pretty good job. The only problem I have with Gundam is they curl. Work on the curling. Work on the curling. I have a dehumidifier so I can fix it, but please work on that. All right, let's find out the last pack giveaway. Owl says that's why they are made from Japanese Amish people. Do they have Amish people? Owl, don't lie to me. Do they have Amish people? I know a lot about Japanese culture. Obviously, I'm a weeb. I mean, look at the stuff I have back here. I don't know if they have Amish. Do they have Amish? Or what we would call Amish or comparative? I'm sure there's got to be people in the village that like, we only do the old time stuff. Yeah, but to me they do. All right, Smile Hoodie, first time winner. Congratulations, Smile Hoodie, first time. I believe that was a first time chat from Smile Hoodie too. Smile, I'm gonna need you to get in the Discord so I can get this out to you. This is the first time I've seen this win. Yeah, baby. Was this a first time chat for you, or is this a? Man, let's see. Gameplay. Looking for first time chats. Nope. I can't tell actually. I can't. Was this your first time chat? I'm local. I'll be there tomorrow. Oh, okay, Small Hoodie. Good. Okay. All right. Thank you. I appreciate that. It makes it a lot easier. So, first time win for the local here. I chatted last time. Okay, that's right. Yep. I was curious, because I know I haven't seen you on the winner wheel. I remember you guys. Trust me. If anyone out there knows, I send out personalized letters to the people that win these packs every single time. And I remember who you are, and I try to remember something about some interaction we've had. And I know I've never written this person anything, so I knew I hadn't given anything to this person already. I try my best to memorize as many of you as possible. This isn't me being some parasocial parasite, whatever. But this is me just showing I care. I really do. I hope you guys are having a wonderful time. I always appreciate you guys taking the time to come see us here at Humble Pie. I enjoy doing this content. I love playing games. I hope you guys do too. I love comments from like Owl out there. They just keep the laughs coming. Captain Literal comes up with some poetry. Guys, I love talking to all of you. Thank you so much for being here. Let's find out what Smile won and get our raid on. I really appreciate it. Owl says, in rural Japan, so were the right. Actually, I haven't read the book by Murakami, IQ84. He talks there was about the Amish people but they were more culty. Oh, that makes sense. Some people would say the Amish are culty. They like to live by their own life. But in rural Japan, you were right. I asked about Rosinante last time. We love you too. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. That's right. You did ask about Rosinante, the deck list that we wanted to make good for you. Because we were talking about not having that promo. I almost forgot about that. Thank you, Smile. Appreciate that. 39 says, what would you do for a Klondike bar? Right now, just about anything. I haven't had anything to eat. I'm starving. It's almost 11 o'clock at night, guys. I haven't had food. I'm hungry. All right, last pack. Can it be a banger? Obviously can't be a redback. We already know the redback got taken. We already know that the Altart leader was given away from this box. That's why we know there's 2 hits left here. Shiki, Kinemon, Alvida, Inuyasha. Owl says, Amish are cultured. I like what you did there. That's pretty clever. That's really clever. They might be closer to God, so let's pretend they're all good on their own, right? That typing goes awesome. 2 sword style, Trafalgar Lammy, Ice Block Pheasant Peck, Buggy, Edward Newgate. Oh, it's leader pack. Everything's been leading to this. This is the only deck I haven't been able to cover in a while. Oh man, I want my Unga Bunga. Where's my Unga Bungas? This whole day has just been Rona Rosoro and the packs here. Kuzan and, hey, Kazoki Hiyori. All right, good card for the deck. Let's get some more, where are my Zoro players? Is everyone just like, nah, it's too Unga Bunga for me? I'm just not going to do it? All right, let's get our raid on for Chicky Tendies. I haven't seen this guy in a hot minute. Man, I haven't been able to talk to this guy. The stream we did last time was fantastic. As I hope you guys had a good time tonight. I had a blast covering this. It's hard to do. I gotta say, really hard to do solo. It's a lot of wind coming out of this mouth here, and try to keep you guys entertained, going back and forth. I like the narrative, like the formula with 2 of us, but sometimes you have to lean on so many people, different schedules, work-life balance. It's chaos, and I can't always have what I want, and it's okay. We'll keep pressing through. I appreciate you guys helping carry this through. I appreciate you guys being here and enjoying the content. If you haven't hit that follow, like, subscribe button, please do. Please do. Helps with the algorithm, helps the math, and helps us grow so I can afford to get even more and better prizing out to you. Thank you. Zeppelin probably got married. Zeppelin can't do Mondays, but it could be. Could be. Can't do Mondays. Zoro is a hidden socialist. Maybe you're not wrong. All right. Without further ado, that's going to be it for today. Thank you as always. And as always, stay humbro.